Well, there may be a storm outside, but batten down the hatches. We are back on Racing Post Live. Dave Orton, thrilled to be with you this afternoon. A little bit later than scheduled. All will be revealed very shortly indeed. But we have got a stellar panellist for you along the way. And a Grade 1 culmination, 3:38. Still not au fait with these race times. 3:38 is the Ascot chase, of course. Are you with or against Fakir Duderie? Ramp up that chat. If you're new to the show and watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. Facebook Live, let's hear from you. And anything on Twitter, hashtag RP Live. Right, who have we got along the way? Ooh, blustery stuff. But you made it in all right, Batchy, didn't you?
Present and correct, Dave, and on time.
Absolutely. You wouldn't want to be getting on trains today, would you?
No, definitely not. No.
Did you hitch the lift, did you?
Hitched the lift to Three Bridges, jumped on the train straight to Blackfriars. But you've got to plan your journey, Dave. You've got to, there's troubles on the train. You've just got to get out of bed a little bit earlier.
That's why there are tube maps out there, Batch. Absolutely. Do these things in advance. Well, she made it finally. We're having a little bit of a joke. But Natalie Green is back on our screen.
Yay!
And dressed in green as well. Happy days.
I was hoping you were going to pick up on that.
You're channeling the silks out there, are you?
Yeah, it's just especially for today. What a hideous journey.
You've had a bit of a shocker, haven't you? Storm Eunice. You were thinking about coming down yesterday, like a lot of people out there. Look, we're lucky to have you, Nat, actually, aren't we? I don't know. I mean, imagine if you got a call in the week from Dave Orton saying you could do this at home on Skype.
Yeah, just imagine what that would feel like. Don't worry, Nats, don't put yourself under too much pressure. 3 trains were cancelled, then I get on one and actually needed the loo, and there was a guy drinking beer next to me. I was like, I'd love to have a beer. Kind of like eyeing up his bag. I was like, I can't even get to the loo.
You were in first class standing, weren't you?
Yeah, genuinely that packed. I was like, oh no, but I'm here.
It's chaos out there.
Absolutely.
We were going to be joined by Kate Tracey, who must feel like she's back to winner already, because let's beam down. Kate is replacing Barry today. A little bit under the weather Barry is, so we thought we'd give him a day off. Kate, the Betfair rep. Great to have you along, Miss Tracey.
Oh, what an absolute touch I've had today, I tell you. I'm looking out right now at all the storms from home. I'm just happy to see that you've all got there in one piece, but it's not, trust me, I'm feeling great, but I still feel bad at the same time that you've all had to go through that, so don't worry.
You look quite magical, Kate. Yeah. Like your fingers are
like,
ooh. Literally just beamed in.
It's really confusing. It's like a green screen. I'm not quite sure what's in focus. I do live here. This isn't a green screen. I just feel very ethereal right now.
The magical, mystical Kate Tracey.
Yeah.
Mystic Kate. We
Mystic
need a new
Kate.
one on telly, don't we? Well, God knows what's on that picture I was saying behind you. Perhaps we're not allowed to see, but great to have you with us, Kate.
It looks like a lion.
It
Is that what she calls Kieran?
We've got a mischievous air about us today. It's great to have you with us. I can see the chat's up, and hello to everyone too out there. Great panel, isn't it? So great racing along the way. Haydock, soggy conditions, but delighted to say it made it, as did Wincanton. It's ding ding round 2. Can Goshen do it again? For Gary Moore, Porticello up in the Victor Ladorum at Haydock. Watched him. Still kicks a couple of hurdles at the ground, doesn't he? But my goodness, made light of that 3-1 on. So the first leg of the Moore double is on. We've also had a favourite win the first at Ascot, Skytastic. Lots of you delighted about that, no doubt. Checking the SB, drifted all the way out to odds against, and still wins. And of course, we are at the home of jump racing for Ascot all the way along. Let's see what Miss Kate Tracey is going to put up at the start of the day. Not only is Nat having a shocker of a morning, she's now got to press the buttons as well. So, Kate, guide her through.
Yeah, so luckily, though, for now, I'm keeping it pretty straightforward today and playing today with a pretty straight bat. But the first offer Betfair to mention, though, of course, is a money back and free bet offer in the 225 at Ascot. That's up to £10. So that's Twinley Chase at Ascot, wide open contest. So it looks a very good offer given the nature of the race, and an offer that I'm certainly going to be using in that race. But the first bet, Nat, if that's okay, if we guess off with an each way lucky 15. So the first race I'm going to look at there is the 150 at Ascot. So our first race we're going to be looking at, and I'm going to decide with Korak Rambler. Now, this may not be the test Korak Rambler really wants, because he's a highly progressive horse. I thought he ran a blinder last time out when finishing 4th in the Classic Chase. He fared best of those who were held up as well and would have learned plenty from that process. So he's worth chancing first and foremost. Then we're going to go to the 240 at Haydock, if that's all right, please, Nat, our second meeting then of the day. And I'm going to side with Kaluki, who was the outsider of the field. He's had a few nibbles there so far this morning, but I'm going to take a chance with him. The trip could potentially unlock a whole new avenue for him. He has a very attractive mark for this race, and he won't be hindered by ground conditions and what's going to be an attritional slog. Now we're going to head back to Ascot for our next race, the 3 o'clock at Ascot, and a horse that I'm going to be siding with mainly because of his price in this bet. That's Highway 102 in the 3 o'clock there. And I just can't leave him on back at that current price, on the back of his solid second last time out in the Lanzarote. So off of a £1 higher mark, he should be able to feature again of what remains a feasible mark for this race. And then the final horse then, that is in the 3:38 at Ascot, and it is Fakir Dudery, the wonderful Fakir Dudery, to hopefully prove himself as a solid Grade 1 performer in this race. Fortunately for Fakir Dudery, he doesn't have Allaho's backside stuck up for once throughout this race, but trip, ground, jumping test, all absolutely fine for him. So £1, lucky each way, lucky 15 on that, £30 stake, and it should return. When I was looking last night, it was about £9.5 grand. I think it's gone to about £6 grand now, thereabouts. So a handsome enough return given the selection.
Yes,
it
it
there, Dave.
is. Oh, sorry, yeah,
You see the rights are right there.
I was squinting away going there. Look, don't try and get us back already. The day's looking up for you as well, isn't it? Because someone had very kindly put that already
No,
in.
Dave, it was the magic of
Was it?
today.
Yes, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
You basically just had to very kindly go through. But it's going to get tougher, so just come on.
I know,
It's
I'm
like
on it.
the ground out there today, of course. What's it going to be like in the Royal Stand? 150 usually goes to what we used to call the RSA, of course. Now is the Brian Advisory Novices Chase at the Cheltenham Festival. Will anything be capable of going on and winning this and doing the double? I don't know. The first thing to say about this race is that the last 4 winners had all won last time out. Not one candidate ticks that box, does it? So it's a tricky race. Let's see what the panellists think. But Kate going for Korak Rambler, handicap form, 8-year-old, first time tongue tie on. Kate, I want to come back to you actually, and well done. Barry, you can go and rest now. I know you'll be watching. You got that offer in, absolutely teed up to perfection. He'll be looking over his shoulder, if anything, Kate.
Thank you. I'm glad I'm already ticking a box anyway. At least it's starting well, this show, so it can only descend from here. But no, really looking forward to that, and a sacred offer on that we have for that race. But we're going to start then obviously with 150 at Ascot, and the horse that I have put into the lucky 15 because I do think he's a fair price. But I'm also going to be backing him a win-only bet in this race. So Nat, if you could go back to this 150 at Ascot, please, with Korak Rambler. I'm going to go onto the exchanges, and I'm just going to have a £50 win bet on Korak Rambler then for this race. I think he's a very fair price.
Am I on the
He won't
exchanges?
mind the testing conditions whatsoever. As I say, this may not prove the test he wants, because I think he's a future Grand National type, but he's a horse on an upward trajectory. And as I said, last time out, his fourth in the Classic Chase was a serious run. He was so green throughout that, and he just got better and better the further it went. So hopefully would have learnt plenty from that, and it should stand him in good stead in what's a pretty open race, really.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, they had a good winner at Sandown during the week, the Russells, didn't they? They've got ice, and you also know all about this. Kate, just come back to you very quickly. We know the connections, don't we, of Does He Know? Some of the owners, and he's been a massive drifter on the market, hasn't he? First run for 97 days, got form lines tying in with them. Will they go to Cheltenham or not? They're going to find out today, I was told, afterwards, whether they might skip it and go to Aintree and Perth as well. He stinks in the market, doesn't he? Why is that? Going right-handed ground?
I think ground as much as anything else. The fact we haven't seen him since mid-November as well. He's had a bit of a setback then, you would have thought, in that time as well. As you say, this is sort of judgment day then for him, basically, if he's going to make up into being a Cheltenham Festival contender. A horse with a lot of talent, but a lot of quirks to go with it. But I'd be mainly concerned about the ground for him more so than anything.
Kate, how much are we putting on Korak Rambler?
£50, please.
50?
Straight win, straight back.
Got there in the end, Nat Green. That's what we have to say. This is your day.
cogs
Got
are
there in
going
the end.
Just took me a while.
Yeah. You're outlawed from writing that at the Post these days. In the end, that was a Bruce Millington. Get rid of it. You either get there or you don't. What's this in the end about? It's right, isn't it? Anyway, I digress. Let's get some tips out of the way. I like Annual Invictus for Chris Gordon. The ground is not too bad. It's Swindley Bottom where it's going to be really bad at Ascot. That's where you've won this race, of course. You should say. You've been waiting for me to say this.
Come on.
Yes, of course. Lovable Carruthers, you won this race. What sort of horse do we need? Annual Invictus. First time cheap pieces on. Look back at that replay at Plumpton last time. He's a million turning for home. He gets beaten only a couple of lengths. Back up in trip. Like I say, Chris Gordon's horse is running again. Tom Cannon got his first Grade 1 winner the other day. That was great to see with Edwardstone.
Yeah, great for Tommy, and I mean, he's got a hell of a chance in the Arkle, hasn't he, as well? So, and he's very laid back. Tommy takes it all in his stride, and he's got every opportunity to go and win a good race like that. And
You think this is going to go to the north, though, don't you?
the Arkle?
No, this.
No, this, yeah.
Yeah, I've got going on, and we might have to wait another couple of years for that.
Doyen Breed, I think, because as I say, does he know? If you look at his form, anything on soft, he all his forms on good to firm. I think he's a drifter because of the ground. They've got form with 3 under 5 through 5.
Yeah.
But Doyen Breed, yeah, again, good run at Warwick in the Grade 2, and I just think she wouldn't come down here for no reason. Sandy Thompson and Ryan Mania riding for the mother-in-law. Is that right?
Yeah, interesting. I've just got the tweet about it. It's quite a sweet picture they put on because I'm with Doyen Breed as well. Ascot saying the first runner we've ever had at this course. See that picture? Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm not going to go left to right.
You know the Thompsons. I mean.
Amazing. And where they train, you've got to take it into consideration. It's hard. It's tough conditions. It's freezing up there. I've been up there a few times, and it's a beautiful place. They're a good team, Sandy and his wife Quona. A real sort of family affair. They all get stuck in. But I would say the resilience and the tenacity of the horses is for consideration. They're used to these pretty Baltic conditions. Yeah. It's true though, isn't it?
He had a good winner yesterday, didn't he, up at Kelso? Thank goodness Kelso was on yesterday.
I know, I didn't think it would be.
No, yeah.
I was actually gobsmacked.
Of all of them that are going to be called off, you thought that'd be the first to be called off, Kelso.
Right, yeah. Well, look, thank goodness we had some racing yesterday. And thank goodness that this storm has passed, in all seriousness, for all the lasses and lads out there. All right, Kate, they're just about to go off. Any late spikes or anything like that?
Not that I've seen. The market has been pretty steady on what I've seen. I'm going to go back to the exchanges now, and no, it's all been Pro Gramblers drifted out ever so slightly, but really it's pretty stagnant on the run up to the off.
All right, okay, great stuff.
I'm not that happy about Correct Gambler. I don't like the way that he runs. I don't think he always looks very happy.
Do you think he'll hit? He doesn't look very happy.
Neck up.
He's a moody individual.
No.
First time tongue tied. So let's see how they got on then. Right, we're kicking off live proceedings. You'll be delighted to know here on Race Post Live this afternoon. Good luck wherever you're playing in this Reynolds Down. Looks like Does He Know is going to have a little bit of a say at first. Yeah, he's just about leading. Fernhill, Tom Segal chucked him into price-wise. What a year Tom is having. And he's going to give up the outside to no one under Jack Quinlan and Ben Case. Who else is there? A bit keen, does he know? He had a little think about that. Geoffroy. Is that how we say that for Laura Morgan?
Yeah,
she's a good.
She's a
Geoffroy. Geoffroy is one of those days, isn't it?
Let's just say anything.
Annual Invictus is going with a bit more zest, which I'm delighted to see. He didn't look happy at all. Correct Rambler, where's he then?
This is what I was trying to say. I'm not being nasty. I absolutely adore Lucinda Russell. He runs like a giraffe.
Yeah.
No, I don't like.
Is that an industry saying?
Well, it just looks.
Imagine if I put that in analysis.
It looks uncomfortable to me. I've got to be honest, and I'm going to be honest.
Wow, what a jump that was by Does He Know?
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of people there on their faces if Does He Knows goes and win this. All right, Kate, we've had a couple of fences. We know the positions now. What's the market saying?
Yeah, the market is still favourable about Korak Rambler for all that. As Nat says, he does have that ungainly sort of tendency, giraffe-like tendency with his head, but still confident about him at 4.3. Does He Know they're having his own way out in front, as we expect from a Kim Bailey horse, strong in there at 5.3. The rest of them, much of a muchness. Doyen Breed is coming for a little bit of a support again there. Even though he's ridden out in the rear, but a few mistakes early on, a few scrappy leads. Korak Rambler, his usual way of going about it, but luckily looks settling into a bit more of the rhythm now.
Well, they're in agreement, the girls, about Korak Rambler. He's a classy sort. And if you're riding him, what are you saying to him at the moment? Come on!
Yeah, just get your act together a little bit and sort of.
He'll go and win now, but
yeah.
Well, he does stay on very strongly, doesn't he? He was a bit of an eye catch, although he was beaten favourite in the Classic Chase last time. It'll be interesting to see about this handicapped form coming in. You have to think most of these will be going the handicap route if they go to some of the big festivals, don't you? I would imagine. Maybe one of them might take their chance. Annual Invictus potentially. He's got form around Cheltenham, hasn't he? And I am liking the way he's going at the moment.
Yeah, the old cheek pieces has done in the world of good. Travelling, jumping. Doyen sort of he's on and off it a little bit now.
I'm not completely convinced.
Isn't
my
this
choice.
what he does? This.
Yeah.
Again, I wasn't sure about him around Haydock last time. The more you watch the replay, the better he gets going, isn't he?
I thought they jumped off at quite a frisk pace as well. I thought they
what do you, like, in your opinion, Matt, like with obviously every race course about rhythm, but in particular this, you want to get into a good rhythm, don't you? You want to sort of.
Yeah, especially them fences down the back out there. You want to meet them. If you start meeting one of them wrong, you're in all sorts of strides going down there. Yeah, it's just especially down the back and.
Isn't it surprising that despite the fact that he's being chivied along and he's got, 6 lengths off Angel Invictus, who now takes it up as a go past the home straight for the first time, he's still not that big on the exchange. It's just, as soon as I said that, out he goes to 20. Apologies if you followed in our pundits, but he might well come back. He's one of those horses, and he gets a reminder from the Maniac at the moment as well. But I am absolutely thrilled with Angel Invictus, Kate, and I think he should be favourite, but he's not.
No, he's still not. I mean, the market is still strong enough about Korak Rambler. The fact he's come back onto the bridle, he's managed to get himself into the race from sort of that ungainly start to the race. Joy and Breed drifted out to 21 then and refused smacks then by Ryan Mania behind the saddle. He's come back onto the bridle, got onto the coattails. He's shortened up again, but market is still, or the exchanges are pretty confident about Korak Rambler still.
All right,
I just feel like you, Matty, needs a few smacks to really get you into
I'll tell you what, Angel Invictus, I was watching him go past the stands. He was like looking at the cameras, wasn't he?
Yeah.
You can see why.
I don't know, he is leaning a bit with his head.
That's what I mean.
He is
it's
putting
strange.
his head a bit,
God knows what you think about him then. If you call Korak Rambler a giraffe.
A talented giraffe, but I'm not keen on it.
Well, I think all giraffes are talented, aren't they?
I'm happy with
Doyen
Doyen
Breed
again.
now all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Who took the 20s out there? I'll tell you what, Kate, they'll be happy now because he's coming back in.
Yes, sir, he has. He's down in 5.1, 7.2. He's drifting back out again now, though, because he's a horse that is just on and off the bridle the whole while. The exchanges did not know what to do with Joy and Breed.
No, I don't.
Does he knows, putting some lovely jumps, but all of a sudden he didn't like that fence, Matty, did he?
No.
What they like to jump then at Ascot in this race that you know so well about.
They're all right when you're on someone like Carruthers, Dave, because he knew how to jump.
Yeah, absolutely. But he's either very good or he's still a bit novice-y, isn't he? And of course he's entitled to be a bit rusty as well.
I'm surprised to say Jay Freud's dropping so back because actually conditions suit this horse. Soft ground, absolutely playing to his strengths. Not got a youthful profile, but he's
hating it, isn't he?
Hating it.
He's a 9-year-old as well. He should be doing better than
Yeah,
this.
no,
Right,
he's-
coming near the business end then. Korak Rambler at some
I am.
point is
Yeah.
going to have
I
to get
am.
a hurry up, isn't he? But the exchange still likes him. They must think that these two are going to fall in a hole then. Now all of a sudden they're duelling up front. Typical David Bass this, putting it up to Tom Cannon.
a long way out, Dave.
Angel Invictus did not like this. You think they're going too hard?
That's a long climb up there on this ground.
I'm quite happy with doing it at the moment.
Yeah.
And Fernhill, all of a sudden, okay, what have we got there? And he has unseated, as Kate just gave us a little preview to. He's gone. The Fav is out then of the first shock horror. Thankfully, all right. It looks like Derek Fox is up okay, does it?
Go on,
yeah,
boy.
he's up all right. He's having a little think about it. Now, this was the big drifter. He has gone for home. He's broken Angel Invictus, we think. Doyen Breed is the one that will pick up the pieces if anyone does. 3 out, then over he goes. Lovely jump by Does He Know. I tell you what, if he hoses up in this, they're going to be so tempted, aren't they, to go for the Brown Advisory.
Yeah, there would be, yeah.
Well, come on,
He's got
Doyen.
Cheltenham form, we
Doyen's
know
not
that.
out of this yet.
I tell you what, he's been
He's
called
not out
loads
of
of
this.
names, Does He Know? I'd love to see him keep going here, because this is against all the trends, really. Doyen Breed, the only one, surely, that could pick him up.
Come
Any
on,
chance?
right. Yeah, he's got
Yeah, he's
plenty
got
of
a
chances,
chance.
Tell you
yeah.
what, I'm not sure that the exchange thinks so, does it? We're coming to 2 out then. Still a long way home. Angel Invictus picking up the bit again, but
Getting
surely
tired
too
a bit,
late.
Doyen, is
He's
he?
getting tired up
Oh.
front. He fiddled that one, but Doyen
up.
Breed's tired as
Doyen's
well.
tired, yeah.
War of attrition in the. I tell you what, look at Angel
Invictus
Invictus.
is coming back.
He's annoying, isn't he? Does he know then? Keeping this up. It was that burst, wasn't it? From 3 to 2 out that broke the rest of his rivals. He's walking up and down on the spot.
Go
I don't
on.
think we're going to see a
You've gotta
gubbin, are we?
keep-
Go
That was a good
on.
jump, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Come on, Bassy.
Will
All
they
right.
go to handicap route? Will they go Reynoldstown? Over in second, a distant second is Doyen Breed. He'll be fighting out for that position with Angel Invictus. But this is a typical David Bass ride and silky skills in the saddle. We'll get Mattie Batchelor's opinion on that very shortly after Tracey gives us the story of the market in the first.
Yes, well, Does He Know actually hit a high of 20 then in that race there. That was a spike early enough on as well, where it looked as though they were teeing it up for a closer potentially, and for one of those to really come from off the pace when he really did drift out quite significantly at that point, because it looked as though Does He Know and Angel Invictus going to get into a bit of a pace battle really in that contest. That obviously hasn't happened. Korak Rambler travelling into the race. He was always pretty favoured in the exchanges though, until obviously he made that mistake, came up too long, landed in the middle of the fence then and unseated. But Does He Know? I mean, you could have named any price about him previously for the 3 mile of the pace then at Cheltenham. So hopefully I will be able to get some sort of quotes now to get put into a few of these markets to price.
Thank you very much, Kate. Okay, yeah, so what do we do with this horse now? Honestly, he was 2 to 1 when they put the markets up, and he went all the way out to nearly 5 to 1 in places. So you can tell probably what the confidence was behind him. Like I say, I know some of the owners, and I'm not sure we're too fussed about Cheltenham for him. going to have to be tempted.
Were they
aren't
worried about the ground, Dave? Or?
Probably the ground and going that way round. He can be a funny horse as well. Do you remember we ran out in the, what's the grade one at Newbury?
Shallow.
The Challow, thanks, Kate. And ever since then, he looked a bit dodgy and high winds and things like that. You're not sure about horses like that with high winds, are you? As I said to you before, off air, why is that funny? Before we came in, storms make people act funny. Everyone was a bit weird yesterday. Like
At a
lightning was
full
in the air or
moon.
something.
It was a full moon.
Double bubble.
So many people.
So what
are crazy.
about horses then? Are we expecting strange results today? Because that was supposed to be the favourite. He's obviously got off a crazy price, and he's got a one night. A good thing, isn't he?
No, I think they can be like frisky at home if it's really, really windy. But once we're on a race course or in a race.
Yeah, he looked very straightforward there. Kim Bailey extremely good with these horses.
Yeah, he did, yeah. And Bassie took the race by the scruff of the neck. And
It just reminds you of First Flow whenever you see him doing these things around Ascot, doesn't he? He puts it up to horses and goes on. If they fiddle one, he gets them back into a rhythm.
Oh, he's brilliant.
That's
He'd
what I
never
like.
say die
So
jockey.
confident as well.
He's so positive, and that's what you're taught. Like, if people moan about, oh, you shouldn't have gone for that stride, you should have gone for this stride, but you know yourself, Nat, you'd rather go and be 110% positive on the stride that you've chosen.
Definitely.
Rather going in and changing your mind.
Then
And
you will hit the deck.
Yeah, Bassie, you cannot say that. He is committed to well.
No, he's awesome. He's enthusiastic, but also, like, does he know? Of course, I'm going to say this post-race, but I was so tempted because, look, you know, he's been running against a decent Nichols horse, 3 under through 5. Like, you know, Cheltenham, you know, acts brilliantly at Presby Park. Like, I don't know. I just don't think we've seen the best of him yet. We've started to see it today.
He's given £3 to Doyen Breed and Annual Invictus, who are rated just a little bit lower to him. So the handicapper's going to put him, it's got to be 150 odd now, isn't it? It's not good if you're an Ultima fan. Our very own Dave Jennings saw it a long way out for that. But he's in the National Hunt Novice Chase, of course, over the 3 miles, 6 or 7 or whatever. Remastered won that last year, then went there. Will they go there? Will they go Brown Advisory? Big tick for 3 under through 5, isn't it? The Nichols horse who beat both the first two.
Yeah. I think after him winning like that, I think he might have no choice but to go for the Brown Advisory.
Yeah. We'll wait for Aintree, we'll see.
Yeah.
You'd be very pleased with the performance, wouldn't you?
We'll be looking out for some quotes from the track. John Harding is our senior reporter there today. I'll be getting in touch with him. We've got people up at Haydock as well. Shall we go to St Helens then, see what the ground is going to be like? It is, of course, from custard.
It's not stopped raining at home.
Giraffes, custards.
Custard.
What's a month in Antigua done to you?
0.
Custard.
You've had too much.
I don't think I've ever heard ground
You've
called
had too
custard
much
before.
sun, Nat.
Absolutely.
0.
It'd be like custard.
Bit
It's
lumpy.
not stopped raining at home.
What do you mean, just horrible ground?
It's going to be horrendous. I only live 40 minutes away, and the rain at home has been terrible.
Did it get worse than the video you shared with everyone on your
Yes.
WhatsApp yesterday? She sent
Everyone,
the video
only sent
yesterday
it to
going,
you.
here comes the storm, everyone. Honestly, it was
Only
just going
to
like that a
you?
little
Who's
bit.
everyone? I just sent it to
I assumed
you.
it was a generic one.
No, it's
I probably rubbished it straight away as you thought, I better not blanket send that. I said, what? Honestly.
I just sent it to you, and then but we did a power cut, so then lit the barbecue to do some burgers, and I set the barbecue on fire. The whole barbecue I set it on fire because I must have had fat in the tray in the bottom.
Who has a barbecue in Storm Eunice? There we go. Look, from the Reynoldstown to the Rendlesham, Kate Tracey, bring some decorum back and give us the winner of this.
Yeah, well, he is hoping so. I mean, this is just as confusing, really, as the Stayers Hurdle itself, this race, isn't it? And I mean that in the sense that I'm not even entirely sure who wants to be winning this race. So looking down through the betting, I mean, Molly Ollie's Wishes, wonderful mare. Don't really like her out of mare's company, to be honest. Thomas Darby, I don't think this is the test he wants. A 3-mile slog on heavy ground. He has an ungainly head carriage himself. Popville Ben may well get an uncontested lead, but he's obviously looking ahead then to the Grand National in itself. Holstone, lengthy absence to defy, but he will love the ground because he's just an absolute tractor of a horse. And Emma Tom is a horse that I find pretty disappointing all in all. So therefore, by default, I'm going to be siding with Third Win. So Nat, if I could go to the exchanges for this race again, please. And I'm going to play this race with a straight bat here and hope that today is the day for Third Win. Because obviously he qualified for the Potemps. So I'm hoping he hasn't got one eye on the Potemps and he can win this race for the second year running. So again, I'm just going to have £50 win only then on Third Win in this race. Only 6 runners. It sort of just lends itself to playing this race with a straight bat anyway.
Well, okay, the mystical Kate Tracey. I hope you can. I hope you can see into the future because I'm with you on the Third Win. Last year's winner, it sets up perfectly for him. Lovely horse. I think this will be his win. Nat Green, let's come to you.
Yeah, no, I do actually agree with you. Could be a really good bet in this. Loves Haydock. What my main point in this race is, I think track form in these conditions at Haydock
Very
is
important.
so important. I can't emphasise enough how important on this going. It's a massive consideration. Low's like about a third win, but I'm not going to ignore Molly Ollie's wishes because I love her. I tell you what, she is game.
I thought she was the
Really
danger. I'm
game.
surprised she's as short as she is. I'm with Kate as well on that. I think coming out of Mayor's
Well, she's
Company,
taking on the
locked
boys,
up,
isn't she? But she does get the mare's weight allowance. It's between the two for me.
This team have done it with Roxana, of course, haven't they? The mare now retired, and this is the ready-made replacement, I suppose, going forward. Are you with her?
I'm not, no. I'm going to go with Topfield Ben. Just impressive the way he handled Lingfield ground. Sort of, it was a bog round there. It was like custard round there the other
He
day.
saw off Emma Tom, didn't he? Didn't
Yeah,
he fancy it?
but Emmerton and Holstone, I don't think they're... Yes, they've both won Grade 2s. Are they the horses they were? Not for me.
Yeah.
So, I think Squeaky will go out in front, and he enjoyed it round there, back over hurdles, and Squeaky Crawley, yeah.
Yeah, squeaky crawl. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it was a good piece of placing, I thought, from Phil Kirby last time. And G-Rod's all over this, I spoke to him yesterday.
Really, yeah.
Absolutely all
It was
over
a good
this.
pot down at Lingfield as well. They come down and...
I think he's won from one at Haydock on heavy ground as well, hasn't he? Talk about Holstein, we've got Bristol to Mai coming up, Bristol to Haydock, as they call them. Heavy ground, do we like that in the...
Too much
Grand
weight,
National
Dave,
Trial?
too much weight.
Just too much weight. He's a
Yeah.
bit stuck between the rock and a hard place.
Against
at the
another
moment.
one that's got quite well weighted, I
What
think.
about the Ascot chase? We little tease that one. Are we with Kate with the Irish Raider?
Oh, fuck-a-doodle-ree, yeah.
Kate is the...
Don't win.
There's a bit... No, you don't like it at all, do
No.
you? Ooh, opinions. Right, let's get the chat ramping up. After this race, we'll see if we can give you a few shout-outs with your social selections. Stick with us this afternoon. Raucous reaction, best anti-post analysis in the business. We'll be talking about anything Cheltenham as well. Send us your naps. I might even ask the panellists as well for their winners of the championship races. Prepare yourself for that. Does Honeysuckle win? There's a lot of confidence I'm hearing that Appreciate It is going to give her a right
Really?
race. Yes. So look, we'll see about that. And they can't do much wrong at the moment, Team Mullins, can they? Okay, Kate, they're circling around at the start. You've heard the tips from everyone. What's the market saying now?
The market is still strong about Molly Ollie's wishes. She's been well backed all morning there. She's 3.2 on the exchanges currently. Thomas Darby has been very lukewarm then in the exchanges all morning himself there. He's been pushed out to 5.2. Third win has been pretty steady at 4.4. And the other two, basically Holstone has been pretty weak in the market. Considering the layoff that he's coming here on the back of, you may wish for potentially some further market support. But again, it's pretty cool about him, but very strong about Molly Ollie's wishes.
She's got this licked, hasn't she? I'm telling you, Barry should be looking over his shoulder. She has got this licked. He'll be looking at filters that he can put behind himself now and all that sort of thing. Well, old Barry. Right, okay, we're off and running then. Great stuff. This is a great race in its own right. Will we see a flyer, potentially for the last time, in a messy Stayers Hurdle division? And Topville Ben, thankfully, is putting some pace to the race, just like he did at Lingfield on that cracking Winter Million weekend that we had. Emma Tom, not going to give him quite so much rope this time. Gav Sheehan, who was aboard him that day, I think was riding to beat on the blind side. And when that one came off the bridle, he found himself a little bit too far back. Or has Emma Tom just gone a little bit of the game? We'll find out. Now, this is an interesting move, isn't it, Batch? The Skeltons not wanting the front runners to get away because she wouldn't be the stoutest of stayers on paper.
No, not at all. And he's got sort of one thing in his mind that the horse in front made a lot of the running and kept stealing lengths of jumping, so he's just keeping an eye on that. But as you say, he must be confident that she does. Really
I
confident.
think they're doing what I sort of expected them to. Thomas Darby's kind of doing what I thought he'd do. He can just, I think it has to go his way, doesn't it? And he does have that, like Kate said, he does have that sort of strange sort of head carriage, but he's got talent.
Giraffe-like.
No, he's just a
Funky
bit
used
more.
to
He's
call
just a
it,
bit
didn't
more
he?
like. He just looks a bit more miserable.
He's not a
Look at
giraffe.
Molly's eyes with her ears pricked, and Thomas Darby's a bit like.
What about Third Wind?
Want to go back to bed? Yeah, good. I mean, they're not really going a great pace, are they? They're just all lolloping around in the right where I thought they'd be at the moment, Dave. To be honest.
Okay. So to remind you, 3 ticks in the studio panel for Third Wind. Yeah, I
As
like
we
the
said
way
before,
jumping.
though, Dave, you'd rather see does she stay or not. It's no point.
Yeah.
You
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just get out there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Try.
I thought they'd try and come through late. It's a funny old track, isn't it, Haydock?
But because
obviously?
because she's really game though, because of her attitude, it's okay. I think to have her up front because if she's going to try, she'll try.
There's been some proper gambles at Haydock today, I've got to tell you, in the Grand National Trial at 2:40 coming up the next race. Fav has been smashed off the boards, the Galloping Bear, for a trainer that can do little wrong at the moment, Ben Clark. Are you with that? Let us know you're out there then. Welcome to the show this afternoon. If you're new to it, myself, Dave Orton, steering you through the afternoon, Mattie Batchelor, Nat Green and Kate Tracey, remotely, and delighted to be so. And let's go to you then, Kate, as they come into the home straight for the first time.
Yeah, not much is changing on the exchanges, to be honest. Still a long way to go, of course, in this 3-mile slog over the hurdle track at Haydock. But Molly Ollie's Wish is still strong then as the favourite on the exchanges. Third Wind coming in for a bit more support. Thomas Arby is pretty solid where he is. The only horse that's maybe lengthened a few points there is Holdstone, but he's starting to get back into it that little bit more so. But honestly, not much is really changing on the exchanges.
All right, okay, thank you, Kate. Some good racing in Ireland today, isn't
More eloquent, wasn't it, than me to sing? They're just sort of, lobbing along, not much.
Well, it's a tough gig that. Whenever I throw to Barry sometimes, I'm like, what's going on in the exchange? Hoping for drama, and he's like, nothing really.
But it's fascinating to know. Yeah, but I quite like hearing that though, because it's interesting to know when it's quiet and when
Yes,
they
peaceful.
make it. Yeah.
Like a game of curling. Who watched that this
Would
morning?
you not
the
expect
curling
it to be quiet in this
Yes.
part of the
Long
race?
way,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's a long way.
Long way
Yeah.
to
I am
go.
getting more and more confident as the race goes on that Third Wind is going to take a lot of beating.
Yeah.
Love the way he's hurdling. And like I say, you remember this race last year? He absolutely cruised into contention. At the moment,
Yeah, he
with
looks good,
commentators'
doesn't he? He's
curses
jumping
on it.
well.
Just Emma Tom, isn't it, I suppose, who's not really absolutely in love with the game. You see why he wears those aids now. Holstone sticking to the inside. That's quite interesting for a first run back, isn't it?
Yeah, long time off.
Never been the strongest to stay as Holstone. It's great to see him back, obviously, for connections. He's a very, very profitable horse over the years.
Yeah, Sam definitely wants to stay there, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He definitely wants to stay there. Like you can see, he's not for moving. He's obviously that's where he wants to be.
I never know really when the race is over at Haydock. We've seen some strange things happen on runnings. They can tend to pull themselves up a bit, can't they? And it's not the longest running, is it? I don't think.
There's a long run from the last to the line. It's one of those tracks. It's just you jump the last, and it's probably not as long as it feels. So even on watching it on the TV, you're thinking,
And
when's
Nick
the line?
Schofield once told me it's the sharpest bend in racing, that home straight.
Oh, turning, yeah.
Turn into.
Yeah.
Like a right angle.
Really
Literally
tight.
there, and
Really
they
tight.
can kick off it a little bit, can't they? Let's see what's going to lead in.
A bit
there
like
at the moment.
Guernsey.
A bit like. You've got to be skillful over you to do that.
No, you got to be mad.
Yeah, well, perfect for you then,
Yeah,
Badge.
perfect.
Right,
Yeah, I
okay,
think
we're on
Emma
the
Tom
far
just got a bit
side.
of a
He's
reminder,
jumping well, the
Dave.
leader, isn't he? Nothing hurdling as well as Third Wind. You just don't want to get it when they start pressing the button. You don't want to have to then quickly ask him. He's not one of those push-button horses.
Oh,
He
he's
likes to
having a
cruise
little
into
niggle
it.
day.
He is.
Yeah.
He is, which is not what you want to see, which means the tempo is definitely lifting. And they are cracking on because all of a sudden, Harry Skelton thinks he's got the better of...
Squeaky.
Yes, absolutely.
Topville
on
Ben.
Topville Ben, who,
Topville.
again, a strong stayer.
Emma
They're
Tom's
definitely
not happy, I
cracking
don't
on.
think. Emma Tom's off the
Emma
screen.
Tom's gone, isn't he? I think you
Yeah.
can put an extra zero
Yeah.
on him for sure. And I think Gav Shin will probably call it a day in a minute.
Yeah.
Thomas Darby's gone wide. Again, expect him to be staying on late. It's just whether...
He just loves it, Topville, man. Look at his ears. Just,
Oh,
doesn't he?
Despite the headgear,
his
yeah.
ears have never gone down. They've been pricked the
Oh,
whole
look at Harry.
way.
He's having a look between the legs.
Is he?
Has that meant
Whoa.
anything on the exchange as we go around the right angle then, Kate?
Yeah, Molly Ollie's Wish is still very strong there. Thomas Darby into 9. Topville Ben, though, is 2.5.
Topville-
So
come
the
on,
market would
Squeaky.
suggest it's between the top two, and the rest of the other 3 that are still left are basically drifting.
Yeah.
It's
All
Wind.
of a sudden, I do
Rising
not like
Canter
Third
on
Wind.
Third Wind. Rising
Aga-
Canter.
Again, they're going to need him to
Go
stop.
on.
Tom O'Brien's
Go
been
on.
caught out of his ground a little bit. We know he'll stay. Look at Holstone running an absolute peach. Perhaps there is something about the inside of the track there. Sam Tristan Davis walking the track.
Go on,
But Top
Squeaky.
Bill Ben has gone on. Molly Ollie's Whiskers. The positive tactics has not worked on her. This could well be
He's seen
a
one
gift
squeak.
or G-Rob will be
Go
screaming this home.
Go
Holstone
on.
steadied into it. Batchy, I've heard
Go
you've
on,
been on
Squeaky.
fire the last couple of
Oh.
weeks. Apparently you were shelling winners, weren't you, last week?
Oh, they're coming out.
Nat's going to be
Yes.
absolutely filthy. She's 0 from 2 like me all of a sudden.
Oh, what is Third Wind doing?
It's
See him?
blowing them all over the place. Is Holstone totally out of this? Have you gone for home too soon?
No.
Come on, Holstone. Let's have a
Come
bit
on,
of a
Squeak.
fight, shall we? All of a
on.
sudden, Topville Ben, is he dossing, do you think?
Yeah, if find again. Squeaky
Look
said
at,
he
they
done
are walking at Haydock. This
Come
is
on,
custard.
Squeaky.
They are stuck in
Come
the
on.
custard.
Told you.
Is this the last? Oh, he's had a think
Come
about
on,
it, hasn't he? This will be
Squeaky.
some training performance, this.
Come
If
on.
Holstone could do it, I know he's going to get up.
No,
Holstone
get back.
on the inside, we've not seen him for 455 days. Look at his badge. You're going to come up and no. And look
gonna
at Topville
get
Ben.
it.
He stuck his head up in the air. If that's not a giraffe, I don't know what is. Scenes here at Haydock on RP Live.
Wow.
What a performance. All the way round, he cut the ground. Sam Tristan Davis. What did he know that the others didn't? And they all writ him off.
Oh, it's almost
The
getting back.
11-year-old back in action. Twiston Davis, take a bow. Great team effort. Sam
That is-
loves that. Pats him down the neck.
Amazing.
Walking in second, Topville Ben. Did anything else finish? That is the question. Kate
Third
Tracey,
Wind's
let's come to
coming, I
you.
think.
What price did Topville Ben go?
Oh, Topville Ben, that was agonising, wasn't it, then in the finish for him? Such a genuine horse, though, with his ears and his specialist made hood. Yeah, he hit a low of 1.11 then in that race, absolutely out on his feet then in the finish then. But your winner, Holstone, I just say, what a training performance that is by
Great
Nigel
training
Davis.
performance.
on the back of a huge out to send the inside rail. Santos Davis said beforehand this horse is a tractor. He loves soft ground. He hit a high of 40 though in running in the first third of that race before his stamina, ability, fitness have really come to the fore there. So serious training performance.
Really was, wasn't it? Yeah, great to see. And again, perhaps more questions than answers for the Stayers division there, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Top Bill, Ben, you thought you had it, didn't you?
You did.
It was a late night you've had as well, wasn't it? You're feeling the pace now.
Well,
aren't
early
you?
morning, Dave, to be honest. I wish
there
it
you
was
go.
just a late night.
You thought you had it then, didn't you?
I thought, yeah, I was
Do you
really
think
confident.
that Molly Ollie just softened him up a bit, or was it just custard that got him?
He just fell in a hole, didn't he? For a horse that stays as well as him, he's...
That looked pretty hard work to me.
Yeah. I mean, I thought... Old Crawley said last time at Lingfield, he thought if something come to him, he'd pick up. And I thought if Holstone got to him, he'd pick up. But he absolutely fell in a hole.
Yeah, we'll see what the connections say of that. We'll get some quotes coming to you. I've got one coming in actually from John Harding, who's there for us in the... I won't say what he called the rain, but I don't think I could say it on this, but it's not very nice at Ascot, I don't think, there. So we listen, like the lads and lasses out there, John, we appreciate your work, man. And Matthew Nichols, assistant to Kim Bailey, does he know? Quite interesting, this. We were slightly panicking about the time, but he does have form on soft a long time ago. All right, we were slightly panicking about the time. Not sure what that means. I guess obviously the ground was...
Does it not mean ground?
Yeah, I guess so. Let's hope John's reading these before he actually puts them in the paper. On ratings, he had a favourites chance. It was a good staying performance. He could be a bit exuberant and a bit of a handful before the race. He keeps improving. He tries under pressure. He's in the National Hunt chase, and he will, David Jennings, you ready? Be entered in the Ultima. DJ.
And Dave.
Go
And
on.
Dave, Betfair have shortened him into 8-1 from 16 for the National Hunt chase as well.
Crikey.
Do you think that's where we'll go then, Kate?
Well, that's at least the quotes that we're getting at the minute. That's where he seems to have shortened up the most. So it is going to be interesting to see. I was interested to hear what the quotes were, but that's the initial prices I've seen.
All right, thanks then, Kate. All right. It has 3 under through 5 shortened as well then, Kate, on the sportsbook. On the back of that, I mean, the horse that is sort of seeing off all these horses and keeps winning.
Yeah, I need to go back into that and see that because it was currently frozen. So give me a second, I'll be back with it.
All right then, no worries. All of a sudden, Barry's like,
Be
it's
interesting to
not
see,
so
wouldn't
easy,
it?
this
Yeah.
job.
Would he be able to handle a handicap, do you think? I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a
Mark
big-
a
it's a big
150 in
ask.
that, you're
It's
going
a
to have
big
to hope
ask to
that
go.
you'd have to hope that something along the lines of periphery grade 1 horses entered in it, wouldn't you, to keep your weight. Carrying over 11 stone in the Ultimate is not easy to do. I seem to remember 150 was the sort of mark. Sky-tastic. John Harding sent me a quote from these guys as well. Sam Thomas, not keen on Cheltenham for the opening winner, the unbeaten Sky-tastic. We watched that together, didn't we?
Yeah.
The runner-up who wasn't carrying a penalty cruised all over him.
The Tizard horse, wasn't it?
The Tizard
Yeah,
horse. Scarface, was it?
Scarface, yeah.
Al Pacino.
Yeah.
And he saw him off and he was going away at the line. Aintree might be the way, but Cheltenham over fences next year, he cannot wait. So serious horse, Sky-tastic. They've got good risk at all, haven't they, coming up?
Good risk, yeah.
After our next race at Ascot, of which the market is up. All right, so 3 under through 5.
He has, Dave.
Go on
He
then.
has shortened in 6s now for 3 under through 5.
Those pesky traders, they don't miss anything, do they? So if you're
Nope.
on 3 under through 5, it's a good day to be alive, isn't it? And because of the Irish horses, you know, a Nichols runner like that, who's got the 1-1-1-1-1, 6-9, they keep going under the radar because people just expect the Irish to win these races because of last year.
They absolutely cleaned up, didn't they? Yeah, and
Yeah.
We've got a couple, I suppose, in the good races, but it's hard to. They've got some very good horses over there, Dave. as
That's
well.
what Harry Cobden was saying
Yeah.
on ITV The Open Show. He's just saying, like, to be honest, it's almost like we're getting second pickings, and what Paul does with his horses is amazing.
Yeah.
With what he actually has, and I loved what Harry said. What did he say? It was really good. He said, if you go on statistics, they're just buying the speedier ones, like if the horses that the Irish are getting. And out the point to points, it does almost seem like we're almost getting second dibs, which is probably right.
Yeah.
in a
Bob
way.
Ollinger would be the great case in point
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
that whoosh.
Exactly. So it was interesting. It was interesting that basically maybe we just don't have as good horses.
I can tell.
Nat, you just dropped something down there. You dropped the ITV bomb.
Oh, was it?
Oh, yeah. The ITV bomb.
Oh, yes, when I was on ITV the
I
other day.
didn't say
Oh,
what
yeah,
I was
yeah,
on. I said on ITV Harry.
If you want
you
to
had
know
to
how
give it a
dedicated
mention,
Nat
didn't you?
is.
You had to give it a-
I never get asked on the opening show.
I mean, we take We take
You need far
the
too much
Mickey a
knowledge
little
for
bit,
that.
but it is a bit of a heroic effort to do what Nat's done. Honestly, if you could see the amount of trains that were cancelled and things like that, and you came back from Antigua, didn't you? And went straight to Sandown.
Sandown. Oh, I loved it. Went to Sandown
I
with
would
my
say have a
with
day
my
off, but
tan.
instead a month in Antigua.
Such a hard life, yeah. I mean, Antigua, yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyone got a violin out the back there?
I'm
Actually,
hearing
cup
that
of
Kim
tea, cup of
Bailey's
tea
in
wouldn't
Sri
go
Lanka
amiss.
apparently watching his son play cricket, so that's why we have Matt Nichols. So
Ah, that's interesting.
dreams do come true, says John Harding. Thanks for my shout out on this. He's one of the top notch. John Harding is the next Lee Motter said.
Really?
Yeah, he might not like me saying that. But he's very, very good. Who was with Holstone then? Come on, let's see if we can get some
Yeah, well
socials
done.
up.
Yeah.
The 225 at Ascot Mutts come next. And Kate Tracey, let's get it out again. This is the money back offer, right?
Yes, it is for this race here. So definitely something that I'm going to be using for sure. So yeah, money back is a free bet if your horse fails to place in this next race of 225 at Ascot, up to £10. Wide open contest. Plenty of chances in here, so definitely looks like a race where that offer is going to be utilised, and I certainly am.
Okay, all right. What's the call then? Who's the play?
So the call is going to be Trucker's Lodge. Now, he is the outsider of the field in here, 20 to 1 for this. So I'm only going to have the £5 each way then on him here because I want to be making the most of that £10 free bet back then as an offer should he fail to place. Because basically, this horse, his main aim is the Midlands National, but he has all factors in his favour here. I think Paul Nichols said earlier on in the week that he needed to get him out really because there's no other races for him prior to the Midlands National. So he should be fit for this. Soft ground will suit him no end. We know that Stanley has funded. He's won a Midlands National in 2020. So that proves it in itself. So what I'm going to do then, Nat, is I'm going to go to the exchanges there and I am going to go each way, £5 then each way on Trucker's Lodge for this race in the hope that he is fit, conditions in his favour, and he can still at least run into a place here before hopefully then having a tilt back at the Midlands Grand National.
Lovely. Thank you, Kate. Didn't see that coming, actually. I like one of the outsiders, though, as well. Are you all right with that trade? All good?
I think I've done it.
You're an old hand now, aren't you? Like an old handicapper. This is all good.
I've put some money on something
You'll
somewhere.
be in the veteran chases soon. I love it. This is all good. If you don't know the history of Nat, she doesn't like numbers. What do you call yourself again?
Like dyscalculia.
Dyscalculia.
I failed
There it
maths
is.
3 times.
First time in 2022 we've had
Makes
that.
a lot of sense. She's got a digital clock. You don't know what the time is.
Makes a lot of sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
I'll tell you what, someone called Lone Philosopher in the chat had Holstone. Well
That's
done out
impressive.
there. And this, he or she also said, I love Natalie Green. Not Batchy yet, I'm afraid, but or Dave
Oh,
Orton,
you
for
might
that
need to
matter.
wear the green granny top I've got on.
The green silks.
I think I'd rather be disliked than wear that.
Your wishes come true very quickly, I think. Okay, so for Nat, in this race, following in Kate, will it be an outsider? I like one, but I'll wait.
No, I'd forgotten actually then who I was looking at. I found this a bit tricky. Loads to like about Fiddler on the Roof. I think, and then I was a bit gutted that Ask Me Early's a non-runner, to be honest.
Yes.
So I had a bit of a case for that
He
horse.
goes to Wincanton now, doesn't he? Right old chance there.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably the right decision, isn't it, if you think about it. Then I kind of gone back to Caribbean Boy, who I loved. Then I was a wee bit disappointed. Then I loved again. Kempton, wasn't it? Last time was really good.
Yeah.
At times, I've just thought, been like a tiny bit concerned about his jumping, but I think that's been improved, hasn't it? It looked better last time. Soft ground's fine. He's a progressive
They
horse.
took him over the national fences, so they must think he's a great
Yeah,
jumper.
but
mustn't
he
they?
is. But I think it just had to fall into place for him. A little bit of schooling. Like the Wood Times, I thought,
Yeah.
But I think he's got it together. More to come from him at 3 miles. Better over further. Open to that improvement. So it kind of like all those tick, tick, tick boxes.
You've got 2 recent trends in your favour. Does he know in the first?
Yeah.
Drifted all the way out. Caribbean Boy, they're worried about the ground being too bad for him. Drifting all the way out. And, so they win. Holstone drifted all the way out. And he
Yeah.
carried the colours of Caribbean Boy.
Yeah,
So-
okay, fair. No, I
that's
don't
a
worry
shame.
about the going really with Caribbean Boy.
When he's on his day, he's better than a marker 149, this chap. They ummed and ahed about connections, I think, whether they went to Kempton next week for the old Racing Post chase there, but they were worried about the weights going up, I think. So this is the race for him. What about you, Batch?
I am going to go with my heart because I love Regal on course.
Yes.
Round here.
He's been backed as well.
Well, he's for me round here. He's a good each way bet.
Yeah.
He always runs his solid
He
He
race.
must have run in this race, mustn't he? I'm just
Yes.
checking. He must have. Has he won? I mean,
I think he won it a few years.
He is
a good
Mr.
each
Ascot,
way.
isn't he?
He is.
Yeah.
He did, 2018. Is there a handicap staying chase around.
He's had a wind
Ascot. He hasn't
operation.
won.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, he's 14, but he's
He's had the wind up, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's had a wind
I'm not sure how
up.
many he's had, actually. Probably quite a few. Hasn't he? Just looked like he was in
What would
really
be
good
the
form.
oldest national horse team? 15? Have you seen a 15-year-old?
Oh, I can't remember, to be honest.
I mean, we're knocking on the door with Regal Encore. Hey, we're knocking on the door with Regal Encore. Oh, we could go and
It
see.
rubs off in the end, you see. Absolutely, it does.
I could be your progeny. You could train me up.
You've been sitting on that train too long, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You sure he didn't have any of that man's beer? she had a little dip
What was
into
it,
the
that
bag.
Super Tenants or something like that? There are other brands available. I like a wacky one here as well. I don't think it's wacky, but the prices does. Cobolobo, who just got touched off here last time. He's gone up to a mark of 134, so £6 up for that. But on his old form, he's got 145 around here. Won't mind the ground. Kevin Brogan on, one of the rides of the season. He has produced on Saturdays. I absolutely love Kevin Brogan. I'm surprised that he's as big as he is. But Fiddler on the Roof, none of us have mentioned him then, Kate, and yet still a strong favourite, is he?
Yeah, no, he is a strong favourite there. Interesting that you mentioned Cobolobo, though, because this race has gone to 10-year-olds in the last 4 of the 5 renewals. We've only got 2 10-year-olds in here, and they're both of our selections then, Dave. So it's Cobolobo versus Truckers Lodge then for the 10-year-olds in this race. The only other horse that's won in those 5 years was a 9-year-old, splitting them. So it does tend to go with those sort of older horses with back class that don't mind attritional conditions. But yeah, Fiddler on the Roof, he is pretty solid at the head of the market there, 3.05 on the exchanges. On the back of that, really solid second, Glaston House and the Ladbroke Trophy. So for all that race hasn't really worked out as we would have hoped, then there's no denying that Fiddler on the Roof is a progressive horse who may well go on to bigger and better things, rather than a few of these in here, you're suspect of that.
Yeah, and Fiddler on the Roof, he goes well fresh, doesn't he? 65 days, 208 days. He's 4 from 8 right-handed, and he is a class act. So you can see, I know, these notes, they pay off. I actually can barely read them because I don't.
Well, you forgot who
Maybe
you
I had a
tipped as
whiskey
well.
or something.
The wind was blowing the handwriting, was it, yesterday? This afternoon is about to really develop in this race because Fortescue, who was third last time, behind Sam Brown.
Sam Brown.
At Haydock, so we'll get a line on that form. Rob Pagay didn't harm the form, did he? And Fiddler on the Roof, of course, Caribbean Boy. Loads of form lines are going around. Lost in
would you give
translation,
Larry a
but he's a
chance,
bounce
Dave?
back. Which one, Larry?
Larry, yeah.
He's a funny horse, isn't he? I think he's had a bit of leg problems in the past. I spoke to Gary yesterday. It was an absolute pleasure, and I asked him about this chap, and he's just, the owner loves running him at Ascot.
Yeah.
And he has obviously won there. You just watch the way that he's hunting up at the back. He'll be crying, I want more, when others have said enough.
Yeah, that's it. And that ground sort of, if they go a good gallop in this, they might just come back to him. And
I reckon they do go a good gallop early, don't you? And then
they
steady
should
up a little bit.
Yeah.
And Larry's going to be weighted without the back for sure.
Caribbean Boy wants to get on with it.
He does, absolutely. They're going to keep him out wide, I think, as well. Give him a good look, aren't they, I think? So
Yeah, that's looking
James
serious.
Bowen. James Bowen looking for his first grade one later on Mr. Fisher. 3:38. That'll be our final race this afternoon here on RP Live. Good luck wherever you're playing. 2.25 at Ascot. Money back offer, of course, if your horse doesn't go in the first 3. Let's hope at least that pays off if your horse doesn't win. Truckers Lodge then for Kate Tracey, having a good look at the front at the moment as well. Horse that stays really, really well. Lorcan Williams, of course. Cheltenham Festival winning jockey, of course, Lorcan, isn't he? Paul Ott Bay last year. Sojourn, who could have gone with Ask Me Early and defected to that race at Wincanton. He takes his chance here for the Honeyball team. Martin Keithley now, of course, isn't it? That was a trainer switch that I didn't really see. James Best.
Yeah.
Bestie's having a bit of a resurgence, isn't he? Let's talk about him quickly.
I think he's had a couple of winners
Yeah.
this week. Yeah, he had one for Venetia.
Emma Lavelle.
Emma Lavelle, sorry, his mother-in-law's horse, wasn't it? That's right, yeah.
He needs another walk in the... What was it called? Walk in the Mill? What was it?
Mill.
Walk in the Mill, yeah.
Walk in the Mill, yeah.
Robert
Also
Walford,
second
yeah.
in the virtual national, much to most people's cost. Okay, Caribbean Boy. I tell you what, it's slow motion stuff today.
is,
The winds
isn't
are
it?
quite high, aren't they? Hold that thought. Sorry, the Venetia horse. Well back this horse was. It just seems every Saturday that Deutsche and Venetia, their horses go half the price by the time they're off. Because they're prolific, and Deutsche's having a time, isn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, everyone says when it's soft ground, back Venetia's, but as she said before, they go on better ground as well. It's just, I think it's just some trainers sort of hit form that time of year now, and that. And
Totally. Venetia just said to me once when I asked her about it, she said, "No, I just don't run my horses on too good ground because I don't like doing it."
She doesn't like.
She just doesn't like doing it.
Associated with that, she just says, "Well, my horses run well on soft ground. That's it."
And proper winter jumping ground is soft ground, so.
Yeah, there's a bit of a difference of opinions, isn't there, on the ground here? Because Caribbean Boy is outside, none wider than Regal Encore, which he does do, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Richie
Yeah,
McClellan,
Richie always takes him out wide.
But stop the clock. I'm in front. Let's go to Kate Tracey's Cobolobo coming in as a result.
Kogolobo has, yes, he's getting a lovely uncontested lead there. He's 6.8 now on the exchanges currently, managing to get his own way out in front. He's jumping well as well, so getting into a lovely rhythm out there. Makes sense. This race does tend to go to horses who are ridden on the pace, so it makes sense that he is being backed into 7.2 there. Now, the market is still confident about Fiddler on the Roof, though, 3.35. The rest pretty muddling, really. The only horse that's sort of saying where he is Trucker's Lodge, even though he's being ridden prominently. So the market not siding with me.
All right, okay, that may well change as we swing into the home straight for the first time. And pretty much as we thought, Batch, they've adopted their positions. Now he's anchored it.
Yeah, they're going sensible. They've all got their positions where they want to be. And they're just waiting there to play their hands.
There's some good racing in Ireland today, isn't there? Of course, it's Red Mills Day there. Mellon finally got a chance to get our first win in a long, long time, and seemingly Tihupo was quite impressive. We'll have a look on that, but I think we've just seen a steamer for the Champion Hurdle potentially, which is interesting. I'm going to ask the panel about their championship idea winners after this race, probably. Yeah, Fiddler on the Roof. Just gone back a little bit as we go back to Ascot. I'm very, very happy. These front-running chasers, they tend to dominate, don't they? It'll be the absolutely typical when I'm on a 18 to 1 shot, when this is the one race where they fall in a hole. Absolutely typical. You know it's going to happen, and I apologise if you've just steamed into the front-running Cobolobo. Trucker's Lodge keeping him warm. So, John, first one for Martin Keithley, another trainer that's been back in the headlines. Good to see this season, isn't it? Caribbean Boy, really on good terms
Yeah,
with
he's
himself.
looking good, isn't he? Fiddler on the Roof has had a few little reminders, to be fair. Larry doesn't really look like he wants to get into it at the moment.
Yeah, he's a proper cheap piece also,
Yeah,
Larry.
he just doesn't look... and the Venetia horse tried just sort of looking around at the back, but I don't know if he's... actually going, oh, see what I mean? I didn't look like he was in a good rhythm.
Where is Hold That Thought?
He's just dropped.
Is he gone, has he?
Yeah.
Oh, has he? All right.
He just didn't look he wasn't coming up at his fences.
Yeah.
He was really sort of going quite low. It might...
This is the time of the season as well when any trainer that's in red hot form starts to worry that it starts tapering off a little bit when we're coming to... And those trainers that have been playing it towards the festivals are thinking...
He wasn't really picking up his jumps, he just sort of...
A couple of Venetia's horses have done that this week, but they're still having loads of winners as well.
Oh, Caribbean Boy made a mess of that as well.
The key for him is Sejourn and Larry had a good think about that.
Fiddler on the Roof, struggling.
Tell you what, let's go back to Kate, because Fiddler on the Roof, right out to nearly 4 to 1 now, Kate.
Market is all over the shop now, 5.9 now, Fiddler on the Roof. He just hasn't jumped these last 3 fences well at all. He's found himself now at the rear. Caribbean Boy is being well backed. He's cruising into the race there at 4.5. Fortescue is still bang there about 5.2, and Trucker's Lodge into 8.4. Money coming to the outsider.
Here we go, and we know that Kate's highlights on this show at the end of the year will all be about Ascot, don't we? So could we have some fun scenes coming up? Batch, what is Regal Encore saying? He's not done with it all, is he?
He's not, no. Never underestimate him. He's travelling well as well, and I don't want to give him the kiss of death,
Just sitting there very quietly, his Batch. All right, now they're ramping up, and Cobolobo saw a big one there, unlike Trucker's Lodge. Regal Encore coming into it on the outside. Caribbean Boy now feeling the heat. Sejourn not done with at all. Fiddler on the Roof, despite the fact he's not gone brilliantly through this race, that was a key jump for him. He's got a little bit more in the locker, but could this be another front runner? They're going to attack him now, which is, if you're on the horse that's in 4th or 5th, like Regal Encore, Sejourn, you're hoping that they try and soften him up. But isn't he jumping well, Cobolobo, at the moment? Fortescue then, who's got that Haydock line of form. Going to give that a big boost, isn't he? Whatever. Look at Larry coming into it now. This is what they expected at the Moor camp. For the others to start feeling the pinch and him to pick up from 3 out, which we've just jumped. Nat, can you call it?
Not
come on, Nat, call it.
Caribbean Boy.
Come on, Cobolobo.
Come on, Regal.
Look, all of a sudden we've got a range of opinions.
Come on,
Regal
Regal.
Encore is absolutely taken off. Fiddler on the Roof finally kicking in the stamina that we saw in the Ladbrokes Trophies coming to play. Cobolobo being attacked at every angle at the moment. Looks like he's going to pay the price. I think Fiddler's going to take this, isn't he? Look at Regal Encore.
Come on,
my
Regal.
goodness me, the 14-year-old. Larry's not out of it. We got 6 abreast, 2 outs.
Come on,
This is a
Regal.
proper race. Cobolobo coming
Come
back
on,
for more.
Richie.
This will be the bravest wins, wouldn't it? You have to say
Come on,
that Regal
Truckers.
Encore's going to do this. All of a sudden,
Truckers.
Truckers Lodge, you can hear Kate Tracey's going absolutely mental. Look.
Yeah, I want Truckers to go
Missed
now.
it, Kate
Come on.
Tracey. Absolutely
Come on, Truckers.
fantastic scenes. Fortescue not done with, but the favourite is
Go on,
taking it up
go
the
long,
last.
go long.
Now, what everyone will
Come on,
say, what were
Regal.
you worried about? Fortescue, the only danger now is Regal Encore backs out of it. Truckers Lodge has run an absolute sledger. Could Fortescue
Nowhere
do
to
the
go.
favour?
Go
Looks
nowhere
like he's
to-
going to get up on the line.
Fortescue.
Wow-wee. Fiddler on the Roof hit it up, but he got outstayed again by one. Fortescue, who just boosts Sam Brown. We're about to see him running at Haydock. His form no end. Kate Tracey, have you come back down to earth?
I don't really know. Yeah, that was emotional, wasn't it?
Welcome back.
All over the place. Standard Ascot. I've never say die then at Ascot on that run in. I know too well, as you all know from watching this show. Fortescue hit a high of 90 in that race then.
Ooh,
he hit the peak of 90 there when they were basically swinging into the home straight. He came under pressure. He's a horse where he's had his backers on his last few runs. He hasn't fulfilled that placing on each occasion. Today has been the day for him. Stamina in abundance, soft ground conditions in his favour yet again. Jumped so well throughout. It turned into a proper slog from twice the way out there. Unfortunately for Fiddler on the Roof, he does have a habit of throwing away sort of races that do look like they could be won, which has been a bit of a trait of his. Truckers Lodge needs an extra stamina test, but I'm delighted with that run anyway. So don't get my money back as a free bet, but at least we've made some with the each way play.
What a thrill that was, Kate Tracey. Lovely description of exactly what happened in the story of the market there. I mean, it was all over the place. Fiddler, you must have thought you had it there if you backed him, didn't you?
Yeah.
You thought, finally, class is coming to the fore. And was it a case of him?
I think he's just got outstayed.
I think he has as well. You can see why they were umming and ahhing, can't you, about going back to Haydock for the 3 mile 4 race we're going for. He's in the National Fortescue. I'm just going to see what he is on the list, and we'll see if we can get a price.
Awesome finish, the top 4 though. I mean, it was thrilling, wasn't it? It was Truckers Lodge. I just stuck onto that rail there. That was a brilliant each way tip by Kate there. I know it was.
Oh, thanks, Nat.
I was. He ran absolutely brilliantly. I mean, I wouldn't have predicted Fortescue in that, but look at the replay. What a finish.
Turning in there 2 out. There was like 6 there with a chance.
On the list for the National. He gets a penalty. What is it, £4, something like that?
67.
Now, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I was suggesting yesterday when we did a feature show that the National has become a race like this now where the weights come out.
Must be 66 now. Tiger Road don't run.
I'll tell you, there's a few others as well. Let's not even go there. How did that get a mention? Henry Daly will surely be looking towards the National, whether it be this year or now. I mean, you've got to be tempted now, haven't you, to try and go for National.
Yeah.
That race has thrown up national contenders before, maybe not winners. Maybe the Irish will have something to say about it, but better
Into
than further.
25.
25s, thank you, Kate,
From
on the
66.
sportsbook.
He'd
Love
have a good
it.
chance of getting a run, wouldn't
Well,
he?
he will have absolutely
Good
every
chance.
chance of getting in now under that penalty. And it has become a race where the weights come out and then they win their races. You know, like Complar did when he won all those years ago when he went to the Ida. You've got horses that are way ahead of their mark, like Cloth Cap last year. That's why they become favourite, because the handicapper, if he would love to give him more, and what's he going to get for that? I mean, he's beaten Fiddler on the Roof's giving him £12 there. Good run by Fiddler, really. And again, he's just
Well, it was
second
seen as
itis,
that we
isn't it?
were a bit worried. I thought he just looked really a bit
Yeah,
off the ride at points, and he was like nagging him, and that was pretty impressive actually for him.
He
to
looked
get-
beat at Swinley Bottom, didn't he?
thought he
Houston,
was.
we have a player for the National. Great, that's getting some coverage, of course, this week when the weights came out on Tuesday. Right, where do we go? Haydock, 5 minutes until the Grand National Trial. It's all nicely themed,
God,
isn't
is
it?
that
That's-
it? 5 guys flying by.
It's
isn't it?
flying by. Always does when you're
Time
having
flies,
fun.
yeah.
You're glad you got on that 7th train now, aren't you? Absolutely, and we're delighted to have you. Got any socials out there, guys, in the gallery? We've got Kieran and Will steering the ship beautifully.
They're making
for
us a
out
coffee,
there.
I think.
Have we got a social? I think there is one teased up around.
You got something in it? No. Amaretto and coffee.
I'm a ratto.
We're all hoping she does after the night you had. What about some
Disaronno.
socials out there, Kieran? We're getting on. Here we go. Devo, this is the one we're expecting. Look at that, Batchy.
Come on,
we all love
Devo.
Mattie Batch.
Yay!
There's a bit of love out there. Just one for Dave now, and we complete the set. Because we know that everyone loves Kate. All right, okay, 3:40. Let's go back to you then, Kate. You're getting closer.
Oh, I know. After Korak Rambler, to be fair, I'm seating then in the first. Now, Truckers Lodge, sort of my outsiders are coming to the fore, it seems, after third win. Disappointed, really, earlier on in a tricky race. But I'm going for a wild play again in our next race, Grand National Trial. So we talk about slog. This is an ultimate slog test, really, this next race. It's going to be who basically lasts the longest throughout this. Now, a horse where he doesn't naturally tick that box on the face of it, but I still think it's worth chancing. He's no longer the outsider of the field, but that is Kaluki. So, Nat, I'm actually going to go to the sportsbook for this race, because this is an extra place race then on the Betfair sportsbook. Here, we're paying 4 places instead of
You're
3.
risky, confusing me. Whee.
Not at all. No. You're nailing this.
Yes, get to the right race course.
So if it's a Trixie or something. There's some sort of multiple coming up here.
Listen, I'm just pleased I found the right page.
And I'm going to go £25 each way on Kaluki there, please. I think I'm going to need all of these extra places then that are on offer in this race. I mean, to be honest, we may well only get about 4 or 5 finishes in this race. To be honest, it's really going to be attritional. But Kaluki, he's a horse where he ticks all the right boxes for this race. He's hitting the sweet spot with his mark of this race of 145. He's an 8-year-old. This race tends to go to 8-year-olds, that upward trajectory. there's no way of saying whether or not he will see out the strip. There's also no way of saying he didn't get the Peter Marsh strip last time out. And he jumped really well throughout that. We know that a left-handed track is key to him. He runs down his fences to his left when he's under pressure. But he jumped really well last time out. So in the hope that he's ridden more positively, they don't come back to them in this race. So hopefully he's ridden more positively and Kaluki can ideally run into a place at the big price.
He's definitely found his niche, Kate, hasn't he? He disappointed me a little bit as a novice. I remember at Newbury one day behind Next Destination, was it last season? He nearly took a fence or two behind him with Dickie Johnson on it, and nearly called him Ricky again. Like the likes of Verlier and Rouge, of course, have won this and gone to the National. Lord de Menil, lovely horse, of course, has his go again. Great horses won this over the years. Look, who remembers Lee Foret? A great horse, wasn't he? Giles Cross, Bishop's Road, all absolute mud lovers. Yala Enki, of course. Kate is right about the 8-year-old thing. And the horses that need to get the penalties. You're an 8-year-old and you want a penalty for Secret Reprieve.
Secret Reprieve, yeah. I think good run in the Welsh, but Evan Williams, I think he's been a bit quiet the last couple of weeks.
Well, this is Does He Know Mark 2, because this was 5-2 when we were looking at him yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of leading firms put him up there. He's drifted all the way out. I mean, he did run well in the Welsh National, didn't he? After all that time off.
He ran well, yeah.
It's more the mark, isn't it? You think he's definitely better than that.
Yeah, 10-stone fight. There's loads in here. You've got Sam Brown, who's second to Twist, the Phoenician horse.
Royal
Bagai, yeah.
Fortescue third, as I said.
Yes,
Keep banging
so
that
that's
drum.
good form.
Yeah, it's just whether he had a
Black
hard race that
Lion,
day.
he loves it around here. You've got Mr. Haydock in Bristol de May.
Black Lion, as Chris Cook wrote in
Yeah.
the post, the only teenager left in the National. Remarkably. Black Lion, Mr. Aintree he was at one point, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So you're with, hopefully, a horse that will get international. I'm with the Galloping Bear, who Tom Segala's put up. I put him up yesterday as well. He's been smashed. Ben Clark.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ben
smashed.
Jones. Cannot do anything wrong, that team. What about you, Nat?
Yeah, I can see that, the heavy ground winner, Lingfield. I'm quite keen on Sam Brown in this. That you've already said it, but good run in the Peter Marsh. Haydock course form, as I said before, but he rallied well in Peter Marsh. 2.5 looks all fine. Again, about rhythm and handling conditions. I can see the love for Secret Reprieve, though, because I think actually in the Welsh National on that reappearance, just run out of petrol.
Yeah.
It does not bother me if they run out of petrol, because it's that.
Yeah.
So
And they looked after him a bit as well, didn't they?
Of course
Adam
they were
Waits
looked
as well.
after him,
Yeah.
absolutely. And then, so it'd be no surprise. And also, I just think he's a really gorgeous horse.
It was as good as a distance fifth that you could ever have.
It's a lot to ask for a horse to come back for your first run and run in a Welsh National.
This is a proper
And
race.
he was never going to give him an hard race.
No.
Yeah.
So
Time to
this-
get up, of course. The horse
He
that
looks
famously
great as
didn't
well.
qualify for National. Just don't go there.
Secret
Was that
Reprieve
a
looks
bit
really
of
well
a
in pictures.
Banana skin for the BHA there, because he was the anti-pose favourite after his Midlands National win. I wouldn't surprise if he had to go back there, would it? Look, this is going to be fun, isn't it? Off we go, and isn't it great to see Bristol de Mai? Could he do a Holstone?
Just
and
be
come
fun
back?
riding Bristol de Mai, wouldn't it?
They just want the lead.
fun.
They're desperate for the lead, aren't they? Sam Tristan Davis taking the ride then, and over he goes the first. On guard, a
It's
horse.
2 mile race.
On guard, of course, took the Tommy Whittle, didn't he? And it's just whether he stays. I thought the ground might be a bit too testing for him. The Galloping Bear, 3 mile 5, as Nat said at Lingfield last time. If you go through that ground at Lingfield, this will be absolutely like you're on sandpaper, basically. Let's have a look at some of the others.
Some of them are pretty revved up, Dave, aren't they, though? I mean, they've got a long way to go and they're pretty...
Because they're so obsessed with this front-running trend at the moment. When does it start for... I mean, of course, it was Cobble over. I told you it would be. Do you run a blinder, mint condition all the way out the back? He's going to try and pick up the pieces, along with Secret Reprieve. Sam Brown, well fancied by many. He's on the outside there. What's that in the midfield as well? Sidi Ishmael, very progressive horse prior to his fall for the pipes. Not talked about so much for this. Lord de Menil, last year's winner, he's in there. The Galloping Bear going well. Kaluki, this is what I didn't want to see, Kate Tracey. He filled that one.
Yeah, not ideal, really, was it? That is just a trait of his. At least Tom O'Brien has got him right down the inside there. So he's got no choice but to go straight because he cannot run down his fence to his left. It's when he gets under pressure, though, which he's just starting to have a few niggles there now from Tom O'Brien to get him into the bridle. He's probably a bit further back than ideal. I thought there'd be more pace pressure on Bristol de May, to be honest. Sam Brown now going forwards, but Bristol de May was backed into favouritism. Then it's now re-established itself. The Galloping Bear has re-established himself back ahead of the market.
It was interesting there. Wedgie was down the inside and he saw Kaluki and he just said, I'm getting away from him.
Yeah,
He
absolutely.
did, didn't he?
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, I think, again, if, you know, a lot of these jockeys, they've got the members club and they watch these replays and you know your horses, don't they? You wouldn't really want to be following Kaluki. Like I say, he can make the errors, but the further he goes, the better he will get. He just wants to get into that rhythm. Black Lion, on really good terms with himself. Of course, you remember? It was a pretty sad day, wasn't it, when he left the Tristan Davises? I think they did not want to let him go whatsoever. But Darren Yates, high-profile owner, spent a lot of money on his horses. It's good to see the Skeltons finally getting back that veterans chase. A massive gamble on him that day, and it's been upward trajectory ever since. The National is the plan for him, and 145. Probably get him, wouldn't he? Just about, I think. On Guard has gone from first to nearly last at the moment. The Tommy Whittle winner not on good terms. I'll tell you what, if Time to Get Up hoses up in this, there'll be a lot said about the fact that the BHA didn't give him a chance to get that 6th run. It does seem like, with a month and a bit to the race, they've been a bit hasty with that, don't you think?
Yeah, possibly, yes.
I don't know. It's obviously a horse that's had a few problems. I think that should have been factored in personally. It seems like an error has been made. Chris Cook again wrote about that in the week, our senior reporter and writer. All right, mint condition and warming up.
I was just looking at that actually. Yeah, Brian just saying, get over here, get a bit of clear run.
Yeah, of course.
Isn't
Brian
he is flying, isn't he, Brian?
Oh, magnificent.
160. I mean, it's insane.
He's a hard man to get hold of, Brian Hughes. I've got my radar very much on him, and he's
good
not
luck.
He's not on it. Good luck, yeah. He's not on social media.
Dave, do you want to sort it?
Yeah, I do want you to sort it, Pat.
Leave
I do want you to sort it.
Leave it with me,
Make
I'll
the
sort
call.
it.
Because the viewers need to hear from Brian Hughes, who's doing remarkable things at the moment.
Yeah.
And we need to hear from him in
Good
this
luck.
studio,
We
that's
should
for
just
sure.
voice record him and post it in.
He's not on the social media at all, is he? Doesn't want to know.
He doesn't want to know.
His wife and his sister run his.
Yeah.
It was a great article. But I said to David Clark, do you reckon he was like? He basically said, "Good luck."
I'm friends with him, and he won't even. If he's not in the mood, he won't speak to me. No.
One of those WhatsApp
That's strange. You
messages
speak to me all the time.
Seen and not heard. All right, Kate, we've got a circuit to run. What has the market spiked to? Oh, Bristol, loving life out in front.
The hot favourite, though, the Galloping Bear, has drifted out to 12.5 there as he filters his way back through the field. He's just been got after by Ben Jones as well. So the market isn't favourite about him. Bristol de May is pretty solid, though, at 5.4, leading the way then in terms of the race and in the market as well. Clearly, the market expecting that Class is going to come to the fore and the pace will hold up in this race yet again. Sam Brown, in fact, has been kept wider then throughout. He is pretty prominent in the market as well. City Ishmael is a big price there, and I'm expecting mint condition then to become a big price any second now as he starts to toil towards the back of the field.
Thanks, Kate. And isn't it interesting how Sam Twiston Davis is hugging that inside again, as he did so successfully on Holstone? What a finish that was. Real good feel-good factor about that in this studio, and I'm sure out there as well. Time to Get Up keeps catching my eye, the 9-year-old. Of course, he won at Soft and Wincanton, didn't he, when he put himself really in the picture. And he hosed up, of course.
Secret Reprieve, struggling.
Midlands National Day. Again, we're out of his ground. This is such a tough track. If you're not in there with a chance turning out of this back straight, that's when they rev it up and you're well out of your ground. Like Third Wind in the Rendlesham.
Yeah.
You can't ask these horses to go from 1st to 5th gear on ground like this around Haydock. You see it all the time. Mint Condition gone. Secret Reprieve gone.
He's going to pull
National
that
looking tough for him now. City Ishmael. Kaluki looks like he's crying it a day as well. Time to Get Up, just been niggled a little bit. On Guard, coming back for a little bit more. I'm surprised that the Galloping Bear went out so much because he does stay. If he can keep in there swinging 3 out, it'll take a lot of beating, I think. It's just because he lost that position. Classy horses up front we've got there.
Yeah, Black Lion's looking all right, Bristol Blade's looking all right, Sam Brown's looking good.
Lord de Menil loves the custard, doesn't he, as you called it? The Haydock custard. Is it the best up there?
It's just hard work, isn't it? It's hard work.
Yeah,
You're going to probably see some tired
just
horses.
thrilled to have it on, aren't we? Of course, with Wincanton looked like it was in a bit of danger as well with the Storm Eunice wins. We won't be long until we go for the Kingwell. Of course, are you Adagio or you Gosham? Will there be a mistake by one of them two? Pick up the pieces, something else. Let us know. You've still got time to have a shout out here as we go. Fiddle. Whoa! Great sit there, wasn't it, by Keelan Woods? But that is the end of Lord de Menil, I would imagine.
And
no
Gardo's
repeat success for him. Black Lion going beautifully at the moment,
Keelan
tracking
Woods
his old
can sit to
stablemate.
anything.
Bristol de Mido. Isn't it great to see Bristol do this? This would be remarkable. I mean, it's one of these egg-on-face moments for a lot of people. When you look at heavy ground, you look at Bristol, who do you think of? It's just him, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bristol de Mai, yeah.
Of course, because he pulled up, of course, in behind Happy
I'm
Time.
liking Sam Brown still here. I am.
Yeah.
He doesn't try to do too much, but
Time to get up.
I said it's getting tired now.
Well, now, all of a
it.
sudden, Sam Twiston Davis is like, come on then, boy, let's go for it. He's caught the Galloping Bear out a little bit. I still don't think he's out of it, though.
Mine's
Black
going
Lion
backwards.
starting to fill the old legs now. 2 horses to be interested in, according to the market. We're turning in, Kate Tracey. Is it all about Bristol now?
It's all about Time to Get Up on the exchange. 2.24 there. Bristol has now gone 2.5, so it is between these two. Just as I say that, then the Time to Get Up is just being pushed along by Conjo Jr. Bristol de May, class before, in a rhythm on the front end, jumping well there. Still was white as anything, isn't he? The fact he stayed out in front there. and you know he'll keep plugging on in these
Good,
conditions.
Sammy.
He goes clear then, Kate, and only 3 are going to finish unless Blackline is persevered with, I think. And he's absolutely winged that 3 out, I think, isn't he? Galloping Bear, he's getting loads of weight, and he is coming. Time to get up now, feeling the ground. Much, much better from him again. But he's not going to win this, I don't think, unless there's an accident. Let's see what... Look at Bristol Demite, still on the bridle. What's he gone now? Let's have a look. Oh, he's low, isn't he?
Oh,
The Galloping Bear. Oh, yeah, you got to
yeah.
think about that one. The Galloping Bear, time to get up. They're fighting out their minor on. Now, this will the weight start to tell. Look at Natalie Green's face. You're wondering what's going on.
It's mesmerising.
Holstone, and now Bristol Demite. If you've got the old boy, heart in mouth time, over he goes. Galloping Bear is absolutely staying on strongly. Could we see some dramatic scenes here? I'm all over the Galloping Bear. I don't really want him to win. Bristol is tying up. The Galloping Bears keeping going. They can do nothing wrong. Ben Jones and Ben Clark in a minute. We've got one more to jump, and he's taking it up. What a performance this is. Bristol out on his feet in second. I tell you what, time to get up nearly went. Ben Clark, a young man we are hearing a lot about. Gamble landed, if you were on G-Rod, in the Grand National Trial. The Galloping Bear has gone on to success. Tom Segal knew the market crashed him yesterday. That Lingfield form looking tasty now, isn't it? And a clear-cut winner at Sandown as well. Kate Tracey, dare I ask, how low did Bristol go?
Oh, that really was just horrible, wasn't it? Really, for the dear old grey boy then in that race. He hit a low of 1.04 in that race. He looked as though he had it sewn up, as though he was going to keep powering on. This is, of course, an absolute a complete contrast into what he's usually expecting trip-wise, and he has just got very tired under that burden weight then in the finish there rather than the Galloping Bear. He was under pressure from quite a way out, but you just know he's a horse that literally, he's so well named. He does just gallop the entire way through. He hit a high of 25, but that was really all it was when he was coming under pressure then before the swing into the home straight. Carried on jumping well, testing conditions to suit him as well. So the Galloping Bear did exactly that. And as you say, after Ben Clark, team could do no wrong. Dr. Kananga wasn't it at Sandown the other day as well as another winner. So team in red hot form.
Got some very well handicapped horses, isn't he, Kate? Thank you very much for that. 25 in the run he went. I've had a winner.
Well done, Dave.
I knew he was going to say that was really
I didn't think I was going to have a win up for a lot of that race.
That was
but I
really
did say
good.
mid-race. It just, weight stops trains is the saying, isn't
It's
it?
a great run, though. That's 19
Can't have a
pounds.
tassel on your hat though, unless it's flat racing, because you just
Unless you're the queen.
see it
Oh, I
flat-
see.
It's just not,
Do you think that stopped
it's
him
not
like
okay.
an anchor?
It's
A
just,
tassel.
you know, like a funny tassel on top of a hat.
Is that a
Only in
massive
flat
faux
racing,
pas?
you can have that. You can't have that in jump racing. You see it flap. It really
Poor old
was very
Sam.
distracting.
He's getting pelters here, isn't he? He must have thought he had
who
that,
else
didn't he?
thinks a tassel should? We just want to go and snip that off. Snip that off. Ben Jones.
It is the Queen that's got a tassel, isn't it? When
Yeah, and
ride the
Franny
Yeah.
rides a lot with the grey.
Yeah.
With a tassel
Yeah.
on.
The Galloping Bear then. Future national horse? Probably. Won that off a mark of 140. You're looking at £10 rise, I think, for that. Bristol Demine, 159. The same mark that Brave Man's Game carried successfully.
It's a great run.
Newbury last week. It's a brilliant run,
Yeah,
isn't
it's a brilliant run, yeah.
The Galloping Bear,
Wonderful to see.
10-7, yeah.
It's £19.
90.
If you're ever going to be thrilled to be
£19.
second,
Thank you.
No worries. Numbers.
Gonna
See, numbers.
take me.
discount
No,
Calais
but
that you
that
are.
is
I think you're
serious.
having us all on with this discount Calais thing anyway. You're doing it
So
a
we're
bit
getting
too
rid of
well.
tassels. Probably the next on the list will be green cardigans.
No, the Holstone silks, of
The
course. The
Holstone.
Bristol Demine silks. Didn't even go for it. The Galloping Bear then for Ben Clark, a young trainer, I think we can now agree, is making the breakthrough somewhat. He wants these Saturday winners. And where will that go? Midlands National, potentially something like that. Scottish National. It's all coming out. Scottish National, of course, before Aintree, isn't it, this year? It's weird.
It is weird.
Very weird.
Really weird.
He's in the Ida next weekend, but even I think that might be a bit harsh.
Oh, blimey. Yeah, of course. You're
Yeah.
back in for the Ida, aren't you, Nat? We've got Keith Melrose coming. It's favourite race of the whole year.
Oh, yeah, I
He's
like the
excited.
idea.
Kid in a toy store and all that sort of thing. So next Saturday we'll be doing that. We've got the old Racing Post Chase. I forget. Apologies to the sponsor who it is this year, but we've got the Dovecote. We've got the Adonis. Is it too late for Cheltenham? Tritonic was a bit of a red herring, wasn't he, last year when he won? The Triumph Market still maybe room for something to fly on, but you're hoping that the Dovecote goes to the Mooryard, aren't you? And let's give you a little bit of kudos now, because we all thought you were a bit balmy. After
Yes.
Shall We Have One More got beaten at Ascot, we asked Bat for a Cheltenham Festival winner.
Oh,
and
yeah?
he said, shall we have one more? Turns out you might have to run in the hottest race of the festival.
Yeah.
Bar the champion chase maybe, but
No, he won well.
I think they think he'll win it next week.
I think he will. He won
Course
well
winner,
at
isn't he?
Sandown. Yeah, it was
He's
good.
settling down a bit now. We spoke to Gary about him yesterday. He's in a good place.
Yeah, and the owner had a double at Sandown on the day. He's in a good place. He done it well the other day. So, yeah, hopefully he goes back to Kempton and
Goshen
He's
colours.
definitely got an engine, Dave, anyway.
Yeah, big time. All right, what's going to have the best engine in the 3 o'clock? Shall we find out with Kate Tracey?
Yeah, the 3 o'clock, then this is a pretty interesting contest, really. I mean, we've got Good Risk at All then heading the betting currently on the sportsbook as a 13-8 favourite from Zacconi Rebel at 7-2, Capdu Mafan at 9-2, Ballybeg 15-2. But it is pretty open. We do have a strong favourite nonetheless in Good Risk at All. He opened up at a pretty fair price. Then he was backed in like out of the question. He levelled off. He's been well backed again now. So clearly market is very confident about him. And then the best I'm going to have in this race, I'm actually going to take this race with a two-prong attack because Good Risk at All, I do think, is a pretty good horse for the win, really, to be honest, in this race. I still think he is very well handicapped. And the fact that he's just getting better and better the whole while, his jumping is getting better. I know he was overturned on his hurdle debut as a 1-3 favourite, but he jumped like, what is it? That was said by Jerry Hannon the other day, a bag of hammers the other day. So, so since then, though, his jumping of his hurdles has just got better and better. I think he's very feasibly handicapped, still judged on his bumper form. So, Nat, what I'm going to do first of all, I'm going to go to the exchanges, and then I'm going to go to the win market there, and I'm going to back Good Risk at All just for the win, £25 win on Good Risk at All, please. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to click into the each way market on the Betfair Exchange there.
Do you want me to place this bet first, Good Risk at All?
Pardon, sorry?
Do you want me to put this win on?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes, please. You could confirm that. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then I'm going to go into the each way market there. Oh, no, I'm not, because he's a non-runner. Forget that. I'm just going to have, I'm just going to stick with that one bet then with Good Risk at All.
Oh, did you like Highway 102?
Yeah, it was meant to be Highway 102.
Me too.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah.
Ground was the issue, wasn't it? You put him up as well, Bax,
Yeah.
didn't you? So he
I
gets
like
to fight
that.
another day, the Lanzarote second. So just the fav then, Kate.
Yeah, just a fab now
Yeah.
for me. All eggs in one basket then for this lad.
Should I put another 25 on then?
Yeah, actually, yeah. No, we'll stick with 25 on him. I'm going to save it for another race, then probably double up that. But yes, just for now, I'm just going to have £25.
Okay.
Good Risk at All. Hopefully, he can just continue jumping well because last time out, so I know he's a horse where he's shown signs of a few quirks then on the running. He has idled and he has looked as though he doesn't go through with his run. But I'm thinking that's more inexperience. He's just a horse where he's taking a while to come to the fore. So hopefully today will be the day for Good Risk at All.
Well, look, there's every chance he's very well handicapped on his bumper form. I'm against him. Are you with him? Because you wanted to back him 3 times then, didn't you, Nat? You were like, let's put more on him. Are you that confident? Because
No.
he's short, isn't he? They've obviously had the win with Skytastic, haven't they?
Yep.
And a lot of people were jumping onto this. He was 4-1 at the start of the week, which probably was too big. But I'm looking at this race littered with potential improvers. Zacconi Rebel being one. I think this might be a bridge too far for Toby Laws' horse, but he comes into could be well ahead of that mark at 127. Captain Mathan is the one I've gone for. Soft ground fine. He's given 40 days since after layoff. He's on a hat-trick. A bit surprised he's not shorter, really. They thought this was going to be a very good horse. And he had a bit of a leg, but he came back in good style last time out. So I've given him the chance. Are you with the fav?
No. Too many seconds for me.
Yeah, because exactly. He's not
Seconditis.
really, these bumper horses, you can get a little bit... There's a reason why he's running off a marker 127 here. I know he's got the John Bond form.
Yeah, but I don't like to see 3 seconds. I can see your case with Zacconi Rebel here, you know. That Ludlow, I know we can obviously say this is a bit different to that Ludlow, but that 127 looks a really fair mark, progressing nicely, quite professional at Ludlow, I thought. That was quite a nice performance. Definitely open to further improvement, but I'm going to be risky. I'm going to go for Piccadilly Lily.
Ah, OK. First time for Alan King.
Why not?
Really going on.
Why not? Now, at the price, because she's a big price, let's go each way to be safe, or go on the nose if you're feeling really risky on a Saturday afternoon. But UK and stable debut. But I don't mind these French horses. They go through gloop as well, don't they? So
It's custard.
they do.
Gloop.
They go
French
through absolute.
custard.
Listen, French heavy's heavy. So
Yeah.
have a go on her.
I'm surprised she's not a bit shorter, actually. She caught my eye during the week when I saw this. Thought Straw Fan Jack might have a chance as well. He's definitely going to come back at some point. Sheila Lewis had a great lockdown, didn't she?
Yes.
You know, because she couldn't cut the hair and stuff, so she started concentrating more on training her horses. She had trebles all over the place. It was
brilliant.
Horses improving stones and all that sort of stuff. I think he will
Did you
come
like,
back to
Did you like the look of Piccadilly Lily?
Yeah, I
Because
did,
You know
yeah.
what? She could be anything we
She's
don't know.
totally
but
unexposed, isn't she?
Kingy really knows the family well. It's that lisp. There's a couple of other horses. Obviously, that's why he's keen. Like, he knows the family really, really well. And that Cheltenham entry as well.
Yeah,
the men's hurdle.
it's got the Kelvin Hughes collars, but the Whaley Cohens do have a bit of a share in this, so that's why Sam is aboard. Ballybeg, a horse that could come back to form as well. Dare McConville, catching a lot of people's eye with that £10 claim. I just think this is a deeper race than 6-4 about a horse who has run in a handicap already. Don't forget Good Risk at all. It's not like McFabulous, who I always remember being very good bumper horse, couldn't jump early on. Paul Nicholls got him absolutely right. First time in a handicap, you remember a couple of years ago, EBF at Kempton. Absolutely hosed up. If they can't do it first time out in a handicap, it means that the handicap has probably got it right or thereabouts. Now, Ascot might suit a little bit better, but Barrichello was, in form horse that he got beaten by, albeit narrowly last time. I don't know, you've got to be brave to take 6-4, I think.
Yeah, but I do like the favourite. I tend to agree with Natalie. Don't like too many seconds, but I'm going to give him one more chance. As I say, Sammy's good up-and-coming trainer. I'm sinking in my chair again. I'm getting lower and lower.
The producers have noticed that you're getting lower and lower. I wondered what he meant at first then when I got that message coming through. You're lowering the tone as usual, Batch.
I'm lowering the tone.
It usually kills, isn't it? It goes down a little bit. So, do you want to give yourself a chance to go on up? Oh, it's like
Here we go.
It's like you're back on Carruthers. Soaring heights again.
Yes, Good Risk. Oh, I'm going to give another chance.
So 2 for Good Risk at all. Yeah,
and I tell you what, each way, Christopher Wood. Good run up at Musselburgh last time behind Tommy's Oscar. At 16-1, I thought maybe a little bit each way because I did go for Highway. So, yeah, I'm going to go for Christopher Wood each way.
Okay, so you get another chance there.
Yes.
Yeah. First one for Venetia, of course, having been with Paul Nicholls.
They say a change is better than a rest, don't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's off a good mark. Who was it last time? It was Tommy's Oscar, wasn't it?
Tommy's Oscar, yeah.
Yeah, I put him up that day. I don't think that he was well positioned. I know he probably bumped into one that day, but interesting. Again, you see, all these things put me off the fav when I'm looking at horses that have got angles. Kate Tracey, though, you've been given a nod of authority by Mattie Batchelor. I don't know whether that's a good thing or not, but has that hardened up in the market then at all?
Always a good thing. Always a good thing if you get Batch's judgment. Yeah, it's interesting then with Good Risk at all. 2.68 then at the head of the exchanges there. Zacconi Rebel 5.8, and then you've got Captain Mathan 7.2. And the rest there's no significant money pouring in for any of these, really. Christopher Wood is just having a few nibbles there nearing the off, which is quite interesting on the fact that his change of stables from Paul Nicholls to Venetia Williams, of course, which is a very interesting change for him. So he's just coming through a bit of support there just before the off.
That was Batch's word then, you see. They are sort of listening to you. Same owners, I think, isn't it, for Christopher Wood? Who rode Fortescue? Let's remind myself. Oh, yeah, Hugh Nugent. Who says it would be a cool ride to have in the National. Wouldn't have got in most years. He's told our reporter John Harding, but you have to niggle him, but he always finds. And looks like that might be the plan then. His granddad bred and owned the horse, so it's Hugh's ride. If he wants it in the National, some ride that for a conditional, wouldn't it?
Yeah. What's he claim now?
5, I think. He was on today, was it 5? Let's have a look. I think it was 5. Yeah, it was 5.
How many winners do you have to have over fences?
Oh, come on. It's halfway through the afternoon. What? Oh, yeah. Can he ride?
That's what I'm thinking. He probably...
Someone out there, can Hugh Nugent ride Fortescue in the National? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing a quote on the Galloping Bear from Ben Clark. I've got a couple of things coming in from Holstone as well. They're going to look at Aintree for the staying hurdle there, sorry. Topville Ben coming back in as well. Topville Ben going to go for the National. It's all happening, isn't it? And we're off and running at Ascot in the 3 o'clock. Captain Mathan pulling his way into contention along with Ballybeg. Who else is up there? Looking for a couple of the others. Right out the back is Easy's Land, who's absolutely fascinating character in this. Has he absolutely gone, or is there a plan?
He was mad at Sandown.
Was he?
Yeah,
Easy's Land.
Spent all time his back legs. Poor Jonto trying to get on him.
Piccadilly Lily keeping him company out the back. What do you think about that?
Not saying anything yet.
Okay, fair enough. Good risk at all. Look, you're in good company because the Fav's out there as well.
Yours pulling a bit hard, Dave. Captain Mathan.
Captain Mathan? Who's it?
Captain Mathan, say it really quickly.
Captain Mathan. Yeah, he is pulling a bit hard. You don't want to see that, do you?
No.
Around Ascot. It's not like it is over fences, of course. Just explain why for people over hurdles. They tend to go a little bit quicker, don't they?
Yeah, just fences a little bit bigger and it sort of gets the horses back on their hocks a little bit, and over hurdles it's quick and low.
You can walk through a hurdle and win. You can't do that with a fence, can you?
No.
Of course, yeah. All right. Okay.
A little bit keen, Dave.
I'm
a little
not very
bit
happy
keen.
about Captain Mathan, Kate Tracey. What does the market say? Probably going the wrong way as well, is he? Or do they like the front runner?
No, they have been pretty cool on him, really. He's just come in again there for a little bit of support, but with him and Ballybeg there really going hammer and tongs up front, the market, the exchange is pretty cool on the pair of them, really. Obviously thinking they were going a bit too quick. and it was stronger on Good Risk at All, who was obviously trying the hold-up tactics then, in the hope they do go a bit quick. But now that Captain Mathan has managed to shake off Ballybeg, he has come into 6.6 then in the exchanges. Coney Rebel, pretty solid himself. He's got a lovely position down that inside rail under James Bowen. But again, the market pretty strong about the favourite.
Thank you,
I like the look of Christopher Wood at the moment. He's looking good.
Yeah.
He's in a lovely spot, isn't he?
Lovely spot, really nice little rhythm.
Harry Bannister's having a good time as well, of course, another jockey.
Yeah, lovely lad, as well, yeah, good lad, and I think he had a double.
Seen him, he did, seen him lift a couple at home recently. Who's catching the eye there in the Sullivan colours? That's Lorcan Williams, of Unlucky One, who's sort of on his best behaviour today, actually. Can be a bit of a lunatic. Strawfan Jack got a lovely position as well, but Captain Mathan has gone clear. Will it be too soon for him? Small Bad Bob came back to form last time out. He's got a nice position on the inside. Yeah, I'll be very surprised if this leader stays there, but then what do I know? Reserve Tank has been given a couple of reminders, and Piccadilly Lily starting to find her feet.
It's a good name, isn't it?
Widest of all on the Fav batch.
Yeah, just getting out on trying to get a bit of better ground. He's cutting up there over hurdles, isn't it?
Novice,
really?
of course, isn't it, as
well?
Yeah,
give him a bit of room as well, yeah, definitely.
All right, OK, starting to
Easy's land's gone back to France, I think.
We're all sort of seeing the... Great line, that. Great line. I just thought there might be a plan with him. The plan is probably to get him to race again, isn't it? I would imagine. Kevin Brogan is not enjoying himself whatsoever. Look at the Fav now, Kate Tracey. You're starting to sense the first win of the afternoon.
Oh, don't jinx me, Dave. Don't jinx me. 2.04 he's currently trading at here, being kept wide throughout, travelling powerfully into the race. He's a horse when you do have to hold your breath until the last second, though, because as I say, he does have those wandering tendencies. So I say Charlie Deutsch will probably try and keep him under wraps for as long as possible, but he's definitely on the best part of the ground there, still travelling very well. Hopefully Captain Mathan has gone that bit quick and will set it up for him to close.
I think
he's looking good.
Very
he's
much,
looking
Kate.
good.
Zacconi Rebel just lost his place a little bit, but the exchange was liking him, and he's another novice, and he's probably on a good mark, isn't he? Good jump by the leader. That I'm surprised that they haven't tried to give Harry Compton more to think about. Now all of a sudden Charlie Deutsch is sensing it. The eyes continually drawn to Lorcan Williams on Lucky One, who's very well handicapped on his best form. Now Captain Mathan is paying for that early exuberance as he gets taken on. He's surely going to go through the back of the field, and it's game over.
This is batch 1 and 2.
This is batch 1 and 2, as he's just reminded you out there. Oh, Lucky One is hunting up, though. Charlie Deutsch! He's not even in the home straight, Deutsch, and he's having a look.
I've never seen Deutsch
in Christopher Wood, then. And wouldn't it be interesting if the ride that Deutsch potentially could have had, I guess, is on the inside Christopher Wood. I think Christopher Wood's going to get this. The only two that matter. Lucky One out on his feet now, walking home again at Ascot. Here we go. Who wants it the most? Will it be Good Risk at All? Could he put himself in something for like the county?
Yeah,
OK, here they come second last. Batchy.
Go on, Deutsche wins for me.
1.07.
You think Deutsche wins?
He's travelling, look at him.
Harry, he's having a look around. Oi, all of a sudden it's Archibald. Christopher Wood, he wants to be winning this, doesn't he? Go on, you've got to let him go now, Deutsche.
No.
Miles clear.
The Deutsche.
Come on, Kate Tracey, what have we got? Over there he goes. Lovely. Let him go, Deutsche. Dave Orton didn't want to take 6-4. Everyone's thinking, what are you on about, Dave? This is winning like absolute Archibald stuff.
Christopher Wood.
Hasn't even known he has had a race.
Easy peasy.
Great tipping from Mattie Batch. Gave you the 1-2 there as well. Kate Tracey off the mark. Good Risk at All. Took that apart. Isn't he coming good now for Sam Thomas? Double on the day for connections as well. I think we might be seeing him in a handicap at the Cheltenham Festival, Kate Tracey. Don't you?
Yeah, we may well do, as you say, looking ahead then to the Coral Cup or even the boys' race, where the novices have a very good record in that race, as we know, which would be fascinating. So again, I'll go through and try and get with any price then for him in that. But he only hit high of 3.09 throughout that race. We spoke about him throughout, didn't we? The fact of how well he was travelling throughout. Then he was kept to the best ground there on the outside by Charlie Deutsch, who could just do no wrong himself. Fascinating he was riding this lad. Him and Sam Thomas have been teaming up to really positive effect there in the last few weeks. And he chose this lad over Christopher Wood then his and it's paid dividends because he hasn't lost the rider. Jumped the best I've seen him by a long way. The improvement's really been there. And everything has finally come together for him. So very well handicapped. They'd say he's looking forward to the festival. He looks as though he'll still be pretty well handicapped.
Oh, she's got a smile back on her face now, hasn't she, Kate Tracey? Pressure's off a bit. Who's had a winner?
Oh,
Who's had a winner in the studio?
Dave does this to me. Caddy goes like this. looks at me, and I know it's coming. I'm just waiting. Then he goes,
Look, you'll finish strongly. You'll finish strongly. You've had a lot of proper run, haven't you?
Yeah, proper run.
Like, you know what I mean? You're battle hardened now.
Yes.
You're more of a seasoned pro than the rest of us. It's coming up to Goshen time, isn't it?
Yes.
We've got a little bit of time out there. Around about 15 minutes until the Kingwell. We watched Charlie Deutsch. I'll tell you what, Deutsch is showing off there, isn't he?
I've never seen
Never
Deutsche
seen
look around with so much confidence.
Great lad, isn't he, Charlie? He's
Great.
having a season of seasons, isn't it? We were lucky enough to have him on a feature show a couple of weeks ago. He was a pleasure to deal with in the run-up to
He has got a great sense of humour.
Yeah.
He is a very funny bloke.
Where do
A
you
lot of
think he
people, he got taught from the best.
Yeah, I bet he did, absolutely. I'll tell you, if you ever see Mattie Batchelor at a racecourse, we can't say it really on air, but go and ask him some of the stories that he's got about Charlie Deutsch. They are knockouts. Okay, Christopher Wood, second, and Lucky One in third, albeit distant. That was a step back in the right direction for all that wants some better ground. The custard is flying everywhere at the moment, isn't it? Goshen timing coming up. Let's get some social interaction if we can from the crowd. The gallery, let's see what we've got out there. Who's out there? Is it Goshen? Is it Adagio? Let's switch our attentions to the champion hurdle with this in mind. Can Adagio have a say in a champion hurdle?
Not for me, no.
He's getting £3. They do. Strongly fancied he is for today. We saw that he goes well fresh, didn't we, in the Greatwood? I just wonder around Goshen's patch, I think we could say this because being last year's winner, when he came back to form, and didn't he win it well? Can he be that quick? I don't know. I'm against him. I think the odds will be landed here with Goshen. Is anyone tipping against Goshen?
No.
No, I think he will win. And as you say, it's just Gary's found another sort of nice pot for him to pick up, I think.
He's got to go where the right-handed pots are, hasn't he?
You've got
Well, he has,
to.
because he's not going to have that many options going forward after today. Not really.
And is he the same horse? Clearly not. In the Triumph.
No.
I mean, Sandown, you'd think he had to win that because he wasn't really running against anything. Today, he's got a bit of a sort of partner to come up against with, but he should still have enough to beat Adagio, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't have Adagio in the champion hurdle. Not against the rivals. No way.
They were really disappointed that they couldn't run him in the International over Christmas and things like that, and because he obviously had a bit of a pickup. I would love it if Dave White gets a proper Grade 1 horse again.
Yeah, it would be. It would
just
be.
Because everyone grew up with Pond House, didn't they? And,
totally.
Totally.
We did
It's
a
been a
feature
while
show
since
with
he's
him.
had one. What did his last Grade 1 horse be?
We're missing one, aren't we? We've got to be. We've got to be missing one. Remastered was the horse they were hoping would take the near Gold Cup class again, but it just hasn't really clicked for him, has it?
But no, with Goshen, you've just got to work within his strengths. He's got a massive engine. He's got loads of ability. No point trying to go left-handed with that horse. Absolutely no. On the flat or the jumps, absolutely no point. But at least they have got options to go over the flat with him. I'm sure they probably will. What is 87 flat?
Yeah.
I do listen to you, Dave.
I do all the hard work for you, and you come in and steal the lines.
Steals your thunder.
We did ask Gary about whether he would go to Royal Ascot, and he said to me, well, it would need to be soft ground. And I said, well, hang on a minute, he called off last year, wasn't it?
Well, exactly.
It's going to turn on its head. We're a bit worried about that for Cheltenham as well. Right, okay, just quickly then, I'm waiting for some social interaction to come up. We have got a poll going. Get involved if you're watching on YouTube. Who wins the Grade 1 Betfair Chase? Coming up in around about 38 minutes' time. 28 minutes' time now, even. Exactly 28 minutes' time, as I'm looking at it. Fakir Duderiz, St Calvados, Fanny and Destraval, or other. I'm hoping it's other. We'll get to that. Let's see where we go with that and see if we can give you some shout-outs as well. Champion Hurdle. Who wins? Kate, I'm going to come to you with this as well.
Honeysuckle.
Oh, yeah.
Honeysuckle, Kate, in the champion?
Oh, gosh, yeah, she's the banker of the week. I cannot see her getting beat. I know that Appreciated, apparently he's working very well and everything, but who knows? Who honestly knows? Yeah, Honeysuckle, she's just invincible in this division.
The Honey?
I think for someone like Henry de Bromhead, who actually is cool, modest, very calm, when he says she's bigger, better and stronger than ever, I think you better take that seriously.
She does look it, though, when you see her.
Oh, she's mature. She's, she's blossomed.
I'm going to be unpopular. I started to doubt her a little bit after Leopardstown.
Really?
Because it was just, or just because everyone just thinks it's an absolute done deal.
Yes, you want to go against the grain.
Well, I do like to swim against the tide, as it may have been noticed. And I don't know. I think Appreciate's going to be a gamble on the day. I can see it for the team that know how
Better get on now, Dave.
to do it.
At the prices.
So look, I think it's going to be a good race anyway. Let's put it that way.
Sharjah will go and win now.
Champion Chase, Sharjah. Yeah, right. Champion Chase.
Oh, Shishkin.
Shishkin. Kate. Champion Chase.
I'm against I'm against the grain. I can see Energumene turning the form around. I'm going to give him a chance at those
Oh,
prices.
don't be so silly,
Why quickly,
Kate?
Kate? No, come on. No. We like against the grainers here.
So, obviously with the Clarence House chase, and that was with rail movements, that was run over. Basically, I can't remember now, I have written this up, about 210 further yards than the champion chase is going to be. So, if you had paused the race, I know if and buts and whichever, if you had paused the race at that point when the champion chase itself would have finished, Energumene would have been in front. And yes, Shishkin did enough wrong then throughout that run. He made the mistake, kept on landing rather than Energumene. He had a flawless run and he still couldn't beat Shishkin. But the front runner bias of the old course then at Cheltenham, time after time, we see the champion chase going to front runners, Special Tiara, Kalisalog, Put the Kessel on. Altior was never far away when he won the champion chases. So on that basis, I do think that if Energumene goes in front, gets into a rhythm, he can put Shishkin's jumping under pressure, coming down the hill, which will naturally put him on the back foot, favour the front runner even more so. And over the shorter trip then, that should really all be in Energumene's favour.
No, just absolute
Just 'cause
garbage.
jumping-
I'm sorry.
Woo!
Doesn't
I
need
don't know about that. I'm
Absolute
sort of with
garbage.
Kate a bit. There's a compelling argument, I think,
But
that.
Shishkin's jumping
He's
under.
jumping so natural.
unbelievable.
I don't know. He wasn't absolutely perfect.
He only made
in
one
Ascot.
mistake.
He was a bit skew-whiff. at
No,
times.
he was just clever.
He wasn't that
He was
impressive in
clever.
the Arkle,
He-
you know.
Energumene's got more speed than him, but he will outstay him up the hill. Go to Aintree, you might see a different story. Not at Cheltenham.
Okay, all right. Oh, it's getting heated here then. All right, let's give the Gold Cup floor to Natalie Green. What wins the Gold Cup?
Oh no, why going to me?
Well, you must have an opinion.
Oh,
Manila Endo.
I'm against him.
I know,
One of the lays of the week
I
for
know,
me.
I am. I'm a bit like, oh.
Garbage.
Garbage!
That's a buzzword. Hashtag garbage.
I can't honestly see in the market now. A Plutard is 130. Manila Endo clearly outstayed him last year.
It's not the form to be with, though. You know that Irish Gold Cup. And you're basically basing your thesis in the Gold Cup that he's going to come alive in the
Yeah.
Gold Cup again. I think
I might just have to go with
he's not the horse he was.
Galvin.
I'm a
Honestly,
Galvin fan.
I'm gonna have to just be. I have got to have an opinion. It's just because I seem to change my mind every time I listen to all the podcasts and the more
Yeah.
research I do. But my gut and my heart is saying this could be Galvin's time.
Conflated? What?
Well, is he going to go Ryanair? And is that really the form you want to be with? I don't know.
No.
The handicapper would tell you
I
not.
think I'm going to go Galvin.
I've just previewed it for loads of our books and things like that, and I've just given away my headline tip. But yeah, Galvin. Let's get a social up before we go to Kate and see what she thinks will win the Gold Cup. Who have we got on the screen coming up? Iron Smiler. I love you, Davey boy. Iron Smiler, it's great to have you watching us as well. We're all getting a bit of love now. Kate, Tracy,
Not
a
me,
little bit
I'm
of
very
love
winners.
for your Gold Cup tip, please.
I was really hoping you weren't going to come to me because I don't know. It's
Kate-
an absolute nightmare.
Kate, you're booked for so many previews. You need to know.
Yeah.
I've done so many. I may give a different answer to each of them, to be honest, just so I can go back to one and say, well, I did say it for this one. I did say it for that one about this course. But to be honest, I love Manella Indo, and I just can't shake the feeling that he just
Now
comes
you're talking
alive at
sense.
Cheltenham.
She's back on track. She's talking sense
She's
again.
back on track.
Well done.
Happy
No
days.
thanks to Batch's input there, but I feel like I'm back on the Manella Indo bandwagon here. I
Yeah.
think that he was basically outdone by just a really good ride by Davy Russell and conflated in the Irish Gold Cup. I think that form, yes, you take it with a huge pinch of salt, but he showed plenty to me in that, the champion back at his favourite place, back at Prestbury Park, where he just comes alive. And with stamina and abundance, they say, I think Galvin, apologies, is the most likely danger with that stamina to the floor whereas a Plutard, he does just lack that extra bit of stamina really for a Gold Cup here, where there could be plenty enough pace on, as we know, yet again. I'm interested to see, don't call me a lunatic now,
Oh, I know what's
how
coming.
Lost in Translation gets on.
Oh.
Garbage.
I thought you were going to say champ.
I think they'll risk the national.
We lost
Maybe.
in translation.
Yeah, it's what,
Wow.
40
Well, he
to 1?
runs, doesn't he, of
Like that?
course? Does he
Yeah.
run is he still in there? They haven't
Well,
called him,
yes.
yeah, he does.
Are we
And again,
overlooking Alboom Photo? Twice Gold Cup winner.
Needs a deluge.
Yeah.
Needs a deluge. And I thought, I've actually written in quite a few pieces that you're going to see coming up, available publication by, that Manila Indo and Alboom Photo have both shown that they might not be the horses of old, which is no disgrace whatsoever. If there's a deluge, Alboom can definitely still have a say. Isn't it funny that no one's going for Aflutard here? He's got to be dropped to right in, hasn't he? And does that work in a Gold Cup?
No, No, but I think loads of us love
Who was the
Aflutard.
last one?
It's 2-1.
Lord Windermere done it.
Lord Windermere synchronised sort of did it, didn't he? He came late.
Yeah.
You've got to hope that they come back a little bit. I mean, Window didn't last year. I don't know. I think he's the right fav on ability, isn't
If the horse is good enough, any horse can do it.
He's got the best form in the race, which is the Betfair Chase rating of 180. But will he produce the 180 that you probably might need this year in the Gold Cup? Anyway, there's a little preview of the 4 championship races for you and some ideas of what we might think win. Rubbish? Or are you on the money and backing them right now? Let's get to Wincanton, though, shall we? It's the 320 coming up. We've sort of previewed it a little bit, Kate, but how do we play this race?
Oh, to be honest with you, there's not many options really to play this race. With only the 4 runners in here, and I cannot see Goshen getting beat here. I think he's a very fair price, all things considered. So for that reason, I'm going to have to be unbelievably unoriginal with the way that I'm going to play this race. But as I say, I actually think Goshen's fair price really for this. So what I'm going to do then now, I'm just going to go to the exchanges, simply have £50 win then on Goshen at his short price there, and just play it yet again with a straight bat this contest, because he has all variables in his favour. He was such an impressive winner of this race last year by 22 lengths, I believe it was, wasn't it? I can't imagine Clandinabo Lad being able to put the pace pressure on him in this race. So hopefully Goshen will get his usual uncontested lead here. He'll extend away from them. I don't think they'll see which way he goes. I guess the only slight concern you have about him is that this will be 3 runs in pretty quick succession for him. There is a minor possibility of a blowout then for Goshen. But apart from that, soft ground, right-handed track, Wincanton, this race, he's not going to go to the champion hurdle. So this is sort of his Gold Cup day, as it were, a champion hurdle day, as it were. So for that reason, Goshen, Jamie Moore now on board after Josh was originally put to ride in, looks a huge positive. So Goshen, straight back, win only.
That's an interesting one, that, Kate, isn't it? There was a lot of talk about Josh going up for staying down, for Goshen, and Jamie going up to ride Porticello, and it's Jamie's ride, isn't it, Goshen? Which is sort of
I think he
it,
takes a bit of knowing, and
a bit.
Yeah, and Jamie knows him inside and out.
You know connections, and you know what he's like in the yard. He's quiet as a mouse, isn't he?
They said they just can't believe him. They said you could.
Anyone can ride him.
Jamie, you can put the kids on him. They've got a ring, and Gary said he goes right-handed and he goes left-handed, just as good as he says.
Just on the race course.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
he said they just can't.
He's actually got a very good record though, returning to the track quickly. That wouldn't bother me that he's been
and in
busy.
small fields.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everything's right, isn't it? I'm a bit surprised that I thought Adagio might be,
Could you play the
very
distances
popular.
here, Dave? You get.
Yeah, I was going to
It's
say,
the sort of thing that Bruce Millington will be loving.
Yeah.
That's what he does. And he'll be looking to... Yeah, well, how far do you think?
Oh,
There's a cat amongst the people. You're getting the hang of this, man.
I'm gonna I'm going to go 5.
5 lengths.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the straightest back you could have possibly played.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, it's over 5 or more, I suppose,
Yeah.
isn't it? So you've gone right on the
You're
5.
going over 5.
I think it's got to be... I think it's got to be... I'd be potentially considering... I can see a big margin.
Big margin.
I'm getting carried away,
Can
probably.
you?
I
Yeah.
can. Although Adagio is a classy animal, isn't he? Second in the Triumph. Very difficult for 5 lengths.
I'm not
isn't it?
sure. I don't know.
You go 5.10. I'll go 10.20. You're going big, eh?
Hang on a minute.
No, you can't go over 20.
Why not?
I don't know about that. Well, I don't know.
Porticello won.
If he
Porticello,
doesn't turn up, Adagio, then you're looking
Yeah.
at a dial of distance, aren't you? Let's get another social up on the screen. I think, who we got coming up? Let's have a look.
Oh,
Who's
we're
coming
off.
into the social corner. Oh, we're off. Okay, we're going to have to hold that. We're going to have to hold that. Neil Francis has come up. Finally, come up. Neil Francis says, I'm with you, Dave. Take on the suckle. Wow. Okay, could the opposition mounting to honeysuckle in the champion hurdle take on the suckle? That's done you bad, shouldn't it? Do you remember when we started calling her that last year? We were having a little bit of a giggle about it. Oh, boys will be boys. Right, on we go. Okay, and Goshen has gone straight to the front. That's the first thing to say. I don't know. I liked him out on the front early on in his career. He just sort of outclassed horses, didn't he? He has been taking a lead recently. He did at Sandown, didn't he? And he just capitulated.
I'm
and
still
the horse
sure he's
tried to go
called
with him.
Goshen, but...
Goshen. I think that's how Gary
Goshen,
called
yeah,
it. It's
Goshen.
Goshen. Right.
Goshen.
Oh my Goshen. Well, he's not hanging around, that's for sure. He's going to expose any chinks that might be physicality-wise in Adagio, who sits just, 2 lengths off him?
Yeah.
Landon Arbo Lad on the inside, and Favois back hurdling today in cheap pieces, because there are no suitable races for him, says Dan Skelton, over fences. So, again, sort of here by default, but picking up some prize money. Kate Tracey's gone straight to the front. Has that seen him go shorter, or are they a little bit worried about him on the exchange?
No, very, very steady. Really, he hasn't changed at all. 1.63 then. Adagio, again, pretty steady there at 2.56. The only horse that's drifted out is Clandinabo Lad, who, because he's not being ridden prominently, we know this horse does like to dictate or at least be ridden forward. He's actually last of the 4 right now and doesn't look as though he's getting overly involved in obviously what is a small runner field. So that is definitely a negative for his chances though on the exchanges. Goshen out to 2s now, so slight little bit of caution, but as soon as you say that, he's back in again.
Yeah, so even money on the doors then. It just shows you one of these in-running races, isn't it, I guess. Nat, you happy with him? Why's he gone out to evens? Because he's been taken on, or?
I'm happy with him.
Batch?
Yeah, he's...
I'm going to think more that I'm going to be winning with my 5-length analogy.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, he's gonna. I don't know. He took a lead in this race
Wincanton
last year.
looks the place to be today, looking at all the weather.
Adagio is going well, isn't he?
Is
And
that
he has
why,
come right
is that
in.
why he's gone like that? Adagio's travelling maybe?
He is travelling very well, Adagio.
Yeah.
I was a bit worried about speed for Adagio. I've got to be said.
He is actually travelling very well.
Very
isn't he?
well. But listen, again, we could all sort of say, I mean, even Landon Arbo lads, far from off the bridle.
Goshen's so happy there, isn't he?
He's just sort of chivying him a bit, isn't he? And saying, come on, get on with your job.
Yeah, he's sort of got to that stage now in his career. He was the same at Sandown. He just says, come on, let's get on with it. And
Now
that's
he's
what-
going
yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
Now the turbo's kicking in.
He's
and
got such
Adagio's
an
gonna-
engine
Landon
though,
Arbo
isn't
lad
he?
has been dropped. And it shows you how this injection of pace. It's a funny track, isn't it? Okay, what is he at the moment? Yeah, he's come right back in. They like him now.
1.55.
You come in here, you sort of go downhill and then go with
All right,
rising
now
down.
Adagio's just starting to feel the pinch here a little bit. He's getting £3. Favois starting
Come
to
on,
crack as
Jake.
well. Where will he come? Stand side?
Stand side, I would have thought.
Yeah, you want to be coming standside at Wincanton when the ground is soft.
He's having a look. He's having a look there, and it was not a Charlie Doyce style look. And Tom Scudamore is not going for Adagio yet. The match is on. Okay, we're
my
coming to 2
goodness.
out. It can change complexion here. It's all on the jump.
Right.
Oh, I'll
my
tell you what, that's a
goodness.
good jump by Goshen.
Come on,
But
Gosh.
Adagio is filling his
No.
arms, and he is a strong stayer,
Oh.
Adagio, at 2 miles. He's going to crack Goshen, isn't he?
Yeah, he
I think
is.
he is. It looks like Tom
I
Scudamore.
don't
I'll tell you what,
know.
Goshen's
Goshen
coming
might
back a
come
little
back.
bit.
Goshen
What a
might come
finish we're
back.
in for here. A good jump from Goshen. He's not out of it.
Come on,
Come on,
Jake.
Goshen. What do you got?
Get
He's seeing him
stuck
off
in.
here. This is
Go
the
on,
castle.
Jake.
Come on, Goshen.
Adagio's in there
Go
as
on,
well.
Jake.
I'll tell you what, the Moors will be. This is a
Go on,
serious
Jake.
prize
Go
by
on,
Adagio. No
Goshen.
win, lose or draw.
on.
Jamie Moore, thank goodness he was on. Because he has lifted him up. We got a race as well, didn't we? Who went under 5?
Yes, no one.
Hey, no
Who went
one.
under 5? Happy days. And Natalie Green, the pressure's off. It only took a 2s-on shot to do it.
I was going to say.
But you got the
Great.
distance as well. Happy days. Wasn't
Great.
that a great race? Adagio emerges with loads of credit. Tom Scudamore must have thought he had the mighty Goshen. Kate Tracey.
Oh, that was sketchy, wasn't it? I mean, as you say, the horse that comes out of that with huge credit is Adagio, then the 5-year-old. I mean, this horse has just turned into such a likeable type after running such a blinder off the top weight in the Greatwood on his previous start, coming back from a lengthy absence. He actually hit a low in running there of 1.03 then Adagio, and it looked as though he had Goshen under pressure. Goshen hit a high of 32. So that just goes to tell you the changing nature between the final 2 flights and between those horses before Goshen has really kicked turbo gear there. He's got those quirks, but there's no doubting his attitude when the chips are really down and he is under pressure there. He had the best part of the track on this standside rail on the soft ground at Wincanton, but he's really had to grind that out there. So I did like that from Goshen, but all variables in his favour. Adagio would be the one you have to take out though.
I agree with you very much.
Very
Kate
good
Tracey.
performance.
And well done to the Moore family. They've had another high-profile double up there. Of course, Porticello won just before we were coming on, as we were coming on air. Up at Haydock in the Victor Ladorum, and we'll see if he goes to the Triumph. And what we would know about Goshen is he won't be going to the Champion Hurdle. You know, I don't know, what do you do with him now? It's sort of job done, isn't it? Two wins, and you could tell he probably had a race at Sandown.
Yeah,
couldn't you?
I think you could tell that. And he, it's just so hard to believe he's only 6.
I'll tell you what's in.
I feel like he's one of those horses that have been around for like ages, and you think, I mean,
They
he's
never jump a fence with him. It was mooted when he lost his way a bit.
I
wasn't
think they have schooled him over it.
and went, no, likey.
No, they got
So if it was right-handed.
they got like a sand school in Gary's, and they've got the new French hurdles. They're fairly big themselves,
Yeah.
they're big and upright, and he jumps them well. And I don't know, I don't know if could you step him up and trip? He might.
Well, they
To me,
tried.
he's-
They've tried it, and he hasn't. The Ascot hurdle, wasn't it? Do you remember? Who won it? Ooh, was it? Who won
I
it?
don't know.
Hang on a minute. Who won the Ascot hurdle? We watched it on the show. Was it Molly Osborne's Wishes? It wasn't. Was
Hold
it?
on a bit.
Who won it? Come on, Nat. He was in it, and he looked.
Well, the one over in November, Buzz.
Yeah, Buzz.
Buzz.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah.
Kate Tracey.
Buzz's one.
The grey
No
matter
worries.
was starting to be fuzzed about then, but Buzz, yeah, of course, sadly on the
I
sidelines.
think he wants to step up.
I know,
into
it's-
it,
He looked like he was the danger coming to last then, Kate, and didn't see it out. And I think that's what consigned him to going back to... Because they run him the handicap after that,
Yeah.
didn't they? And I think he's just a strong 2-miler.
I think you could find easier 2.5 mile options. You've gone to Ascot 2.5. Like if there's like a Kempton 2.5. That's a bit easier.
You're
It
looking
just-
at,
to me,
you're
it's
looking
just-
at Sandown, aren't you? Hoping there's something there on,
But again, that's
on the final day of the season. But
a
again,
stiff
will he have his
2.5.
ground? Probably not.
Will he have his ground?
And then you've got Punchestown. You could look to that, or you think, right, one of the reasons why Gary was a bit umming and ahhing about running him on the flat, and he's classy enough to run it at
Yeah, why
Ascot
was he a
Race,
bit hesitant?
because you let horses down and up, and
He said
hard
you muck
season,
you muck them around.
you muck them
And he's
around.
right.
Yeah.
You can't just let them down over the season and bring.
not as easy as
it's
it
not
looks
as
on
easy.
paper,
it
is
takes. You're walking for
Yeah.
6 weeks, aren't you? Properly walking out.
Yeah.
It takes ages.
This is why you've got to stick with these shows on, in the RP, because we get these answers out of legends.
And I think
like
with
Gary
Goshen
Moore.
as well, he is like when he's in a good mood, he's in a good mood, isn't he? You don't want to get him.
Well, he's
when-
dug deep there, isn't he?
Really?
Yeah. Last year it was a
Properly
procession,
tried.
wasn't it? Turns out Song for Someone's a bit of a proper
Like
thing.
Adagio went in
But-
front and he's put his head down and come back and went
Exactly.
away.
I
Yeah.
love to see that. Didn't we all love to see that? Let's get some social interaction up on screen. What did you make of that as we come towards, would you believe it, hurtling towards our last race? Michael Valentine says, fair play to anyone who got 32 in running on the exchange. Wow,
Yeah.
mental scenes. Great to see Goshen back then, and James Stevens we've got on the track as usual, don't we? Wincanton, our West Country rabbit, and we'll see what he says quotes wise for you. You'll be able to get that around about 6 p.m. your members club, of course. Talking about members club, shall we? Are we going to do that? They've been on at me to talk about the members club for a little while. And there you go. They get to press their button. Stay ahead of the field. Subscribe to the Ultimate Racing Authority. You will notice by now. If you've not got this, you're mad, aren't you? £15 per month for the first 3 months. It's usually 35 something. So it's crazy. It's great saving that. We're literally giving it away. And if you've not got that going into the big spring festivals, madness. So listen, take advantage of that offer if you'd like to. Just go to the RP website. All follows Pat on the sign up. There we go. All right, shall we build up? 10 minutes. We're about to see Mellon come out and strut his stuff as well. We'll keep an eye on that over at Garum Park. Got a right old
Yeah, it'd be
chance
interesting actually to see Mellon.
Yeah, Chatham Street lads come out of that race, the Red Mills Chase. So we'll see how Mellon gets on. Certainly deserves to win it, doesn't he? But we must talk about Grade 1 action. Kate Tracey, there's the market on the screen. Fakir Duderi, you're on a bit of a roll as well now.
Yeah, these 4 to 9 shots. Yeah, no, it's really tricky, this game at this stage.
You had good risk at all as well. Listen, this is potentially a fav treble in fairness, Kate.
Yeah, exactly. But honestly, I will take it at this stage. But good risk at all, just on a bit of tidying up there. He's in at to 10 to 1 then from 25 for the Ballymore. And Adagio's into 12s for the Champion Hurdle from 16. So there's a couple of price updates for you on those 2 last winners that we've just seen. And it's going to be interesting to see then if Fakir Duderi does go and win this Ascot Betfair Ascot Chase, what his price is going to do in the Ryanair Chase. Because I actually, in my Betfair Anti-Post column, I picked him up each way then for the Ryanair. Because I can't see anything beating Allaho at all. But Fakir Duderi was the only horse to get anywhere near him in the race last year. And so I'm not entirely sure if he's going to skip Cheltenham and potentially go to Aintree. Kevin Blake was saying that in the week. But if he does go to the Ryanair, then I think he is yet another proven Grade 1 performer. And a lot of these horses, they might be Grade 1 winners given the right conditions, but I think there's a whole load of solid Grade 2 performers here. And because of the question marks about a few of these likeable types all the same, that would lead me to side with Fakir Duderi. So the way that I am going to play this race, I'm going to head to the exchanges, please, Nat, for this race. And again, I'm playing today very straight, really. And I'm just going to have £50 win on Fakir Duderi, please, there, Nat, just on the Betfair Exchange there. Straight back yet again then for this race. And as I say, I just hope that all conditions will be in Fakir Duderi's favour. The trip will be fine, the ground will be fine. Hopefully he doesn't make the error that he did last time out in the Horse and Jockey Hotel Chase, where he made a really uncharacteristic, shuddering error at the first, which saw him drop to the rear. And he was never able to get on the turns then. He ran a blinder considering that. So hopefully his jumping will be more astute here and he can prove the best of these.
Great stuff. Thank you, Kate. You're with Kate?
I am. I mean, Joseph hasn't said too much. Just said, look, he's in fine form. He's travelled over safely. He's fine.
Yeah.
That's kind of all we're getting. But it's more the fact that I've absolutely adored this horse since first saw him on a race course. I think he's in rude health, reports have been, from him at home. Right now, he ran brilliantly to Allaho. I think he's just been a bit unlucky to be knocking heads or bums, I should say, with Allaho. He's been in the shadows. Allaho's bum.
Yeah.
Probably in
Seen a lot of
Allaho.
it, the rear action,
The rear action Allaho, to me, I don't know, I mean, this could be, but it's probably...
Don't say that sort of thing to him. It's been a
Allaho,
long day for Batch.
He likes it when I
he's
come out.
piecing it
He's
together.
been staring at his bum. But Allaho, to me, is one of the finest jumpers I mean, the scope on that horse is
It'll be
unbelievable.
I don't. The more you look at Ryanair, and I have had to do it, as I said recently for the guides, it's been a muddling division all year. And if he does go there, Kate, then you have to think he's surely one of the most obvious each-way horses of the entire festival. But will they? He was so impressive at Aintree last season, wasn't they? They might just keep and stay there. But I don't know. I'm against him here because I thought it was a pricing. I thought there were definite variables. Two that I want to be with. I'll tell you after this social interaction we're about to get. Let's see who comes up next in Social Corner on the screen. Is there someone coming? Boys in the gallery? Yes, they
That's
are.
my tumbleweed.
It's the poll. 43 of you pesky individuals out there going for the fav. And Kate, Tracey and Natalie Green as well. St Calvados. Not sure who's going to pour it on today myself. He's in second. Other 18. Happy days. And Fanny and Destraval, who ran a really good trial for this in the handicap that Dashel Drasher won last year. Of course, was it Phoenix Way that did it, wasn't it? Getting some weight. Strong handicap form. Is that the way we want to be looking? Of course, Dashel Drasher and 2 for Gold's form, the 2 that ran at Lingford, was given a right or boost by Bristol de Mine, wasn't it?
Dashel Drasher loves Ascot.
Mr. Ascot, and of course won this race last year. It's just
And
deeper today, isn't
one
it?
thing about Dashel Drasher, it's a bit of a tongue twister, isn't it, is he is a gritty finisher.
Oh, man.
Which
Don't
I love.
be eyeballing him,
Which
do
I
you?
love. And he's so resilient. And
Yeah.
he goes on any going, doesn't he? So I can see...
Will he get the lead here? Should do, shouldn't he? 2 for Gold might have something to say about that. Because
With Bassi on 2 for gold, I think he might...
Yeah, he doesn't like anything getting an
No,
easy lead. He's
no.
almost like Paddy Brennan a bit like that, isn't he? He's like, if he knows that there's a gamble, Paddy Brennan, even if he's on a plate, he'll try and lift it up to foil it.
No, so I don't...
You know,
I don't think so. I'm always interested when I see Waiting Patient. I can't remember now what Christian was saying, but it's great for young Jack Tudor, isn't it, on board?
first ride in a Grade
It's
1,
really
we think,
great.
here at the Racing Post. He might have had one abroad, but not here. Yeah, it is
Not here, I
great.
think,
Going to speak to Christian next weekend.
Oh, he's brill.
He is, isn't
Oh,
he?
he's absolutely brill.
He's
but
becoming rapidly one of the characters of the game, is Mr. Williams.
But Waiting Patiently is just...
Yeah. Well, look, of course, he's won this race, hasn't he? Was it this race he won? He won there, didn't he? It was under Brian Hughes, wasn't it? Yes, it was, 2018. The wheels have just come off, but this is only his second run.
Yeah, and Mr.
Christian.
Fisher, there's plenty to like.
Well, that's the one I've
about
gone
Mr.
for.
Fisher.
I think they are worried about the ground, but
And he's jumping, really. He's just a
there
bit,
was nothing wrong with it last time. You're garbage, man.
bit in and out for me. Bit in
There you
and
go,
out.
Kate.
Yeah, he is a bit in and
I'm
out.
getting you back. As
Goes well right-handed, well in small
Mellon's
fields.
still in
though.
front over at Garum, we should say. Daily Tiger's breathing down his neck, but it's what you want to see if you take the odds about a Mellon. St Calvados is one I didn't like. I'm not surprised he's drifted out. Classy animal on his day, but not sure that this ground and a gruelling 2 mile 4 is what he wants. We've got more socials coming in. Let's see. Let's hear from you out there. Tom Leach, Fanny and Destraval. Wins. Fakir overrated. Thank you, Tom. Good to hear from you out there. Fanny and Destraval wins. Yeah, just a very likeable horse. A horse that has got his jumping together.
Yeah, I've sided with Fanny.
Have you?
Have you?
Doishy.
Deutsch, yeah, I love Deutsch.
Will he be having a look before he... you have a word with him next time you see him, will he?
Oh, yeah.
This is
The
going
knee-
to
the
Doishy's
knee
head, I
didn't
think,
come out.
isn't
The
it?
old knee comes out as well.
Who
when he
has
gets-
a look to see where the horses are and a handicap around Ascot before
no.
the home turn?
He looked under. It was the famous quote. He's looked between his legs and there's not a lot there.
Oh,
Very good.
absolutely. So, all right. So, look, okay, who don't we like here? Is Austin Translation just a balmy price, Kate Tracey? Because forget the King George run. He'd be loads shorter, wouldn't he? And he just hates the King George, doesn't he?
Yeah, I said this beforehand about him, really, and this was sort of looking ahead to the Gold Cup. So I feel that he's got a bit of the Imperial Commanders about him, where we know that Imperial Commander, he twice disappointed in the King George before winning the Ryanair, and then he disappointed in the King George again, and then he won a Gold Cup. And it's just a track that just does not suit certain horses. And I have a feeling with Lost in Translation, we knew that he flipped his palate beforehand in the King George when he was a really strong fancy, I believe 2 seasons ago. And he is just a horse where the track just doesn't play to his strengths whatsoever. Of course, with a horse that has flipped their palate in the past, you are concerned about soft ground, but that's why I was interested to keep an eye on him here. You know, he has run a blinder in the Gold Cup then previously, so it's finishing 3rd behind Albin Foto and Santini. But it is just that extra test that he really does want. So he's not a horse that I want to dismiss from the Gold Cup picture on the back of King George runs, because as I say, I just feel he's got a bit of the Imperial Commander about him.
Okay, all right, interesting. Your horse runs later at Gowran as well. Just as you were talking there, Kate, Mellon absolutely hosed up, didn't
Yeah,
he? Great to see
good
him.
round.
Yeah, with your high on confidence. What will he go for, Ryanair, maybe now? Blue Sari runs, Kate.
Yeah.
This is the horse that you looked after on social media for us all, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly, on social media for everyone else then. Yeah, so Blue Sari is going in that beginner's chase later on there. 2 mile Porsche suits him down to the ground. And he's a horse where he's had the 2 chase starts so far. I think he's been unlucky not to win, really. He ran a blinder behind Farouk BLN, who runs tomorrow, actually, in a grade 2 then at Navan. And he ran a blinder pushing him 3/4 of a length of the way. So I'm hoping that everything will come together for Blue Sari. He has his issues, but he has got an awful lot of back class himself. And he's just a very clever horse, so I'm hoping that he can get a first chase win on the board then at Goran later.
He's been well backed as well, and Team Mullins at their local track absolutely hosing up. Right, back to the Ascot Chase. Final race of the day. Been great to have you with us this afternoon. Really good numbers out there watching. Great feedback. Great panellists we've had. We've had a lot of fun. You're having a breather after this, aren't you? A well-deserved breather.
Well-deserved breather, and then 2 games of football tomorrow, Dave.
Happy days.
Back on it.
Right,
I'd just like to say, Dashel Drasher, that he's a regular rider, has said he's come out and he's improving because he had a bad accident.
Matty Griffiths. Great to hear. Yeah, because that was very touch and go at one point, wasn't it? Okay, yeah, I think we're going to hear from Matty.
Tough game.
Matt soon in the Racing Post, so look out for that one. Okay, all right. What is he now, Kate? The Fav.
Yeah, the Fav on the sportsbook there is 11 to 5. So I actually really like that price about him. I think it's a very fair price for the same. 10 to 3 then about St Calvados, 4 to 1 Fanyon, Dasher Drasher, 5 Mr. Fisher 6s. But then on the exchanges, nothing is really happening there towards the off from what I can see. 3.35 about Fakir Doodery.
Thank you very much, Kate. Perfect timing because the flag is up and they are off. In the grade 1 of the day, the Ascot Chase, won by some of the greats over the years. Masterminded Corto et al. It's a race that tends to go to the Favs, and surprise, surprise, they all want a bit of the action. And they don't want Dash or Drasher to get it his own way. Lost in translation, why not? Throw the dice, I'm having a go. Unsurprisingly, Bassi up there for the bit of the action as well.
Yeah,
That's enabling
obviously.
St Calvados to settle quite nicely. Who's that taking off his feet at the back? Is that Fanny and
Fanny, yeah.
Fanny.
Interesting. Is he maybe feeling the effects of a
Fanny
hard
in.
season already? Fakir Doodery, beautiful sit if you're on the Fav. Mr. Fisher having a good look of his outs, on the outside. When he came back to form at Kempton last time, they were quite confident about him because he's had his back issues, they weren't sure. And of course, that form's been boosted now, isn't it, with Eldorado Allen going and winning last week.
Yeah.
So it's just whether he at the ground today. I guess that's why he's drifting a bit. But I'm sticking with him. He's got that throwed-on form, hasn't he? And it's nice to see him back because after he left his legs in that water jump at Ascot, they thought his back had
It's actually
completely
nice. It's nice as well to see. I remember me and Fitzy we were all over Lost in Translation. It was at that Carlisle time, and we jumped beautiful round jumping probably a couple of years when it was a couple of seasons ago. But it's nice to actually see him up front like this and enjoying it, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, like I say, they just seem obsessed with running him in the King George. He's got 2 P's and a 5th next to his name.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know, but I get, he came back to form earlier in the season here, which was great to see. A little bit like the Yard, very resurgent this year, and he is enjoying a bit of the action. But if you eyeball Dasher Drasher, you've seen him go off hammer and
So
tongs and
resilient.
handicaps around here, and he doesn't give up the bit at all, does he? So waiting patiently, doing what he usually does, hunting up out the back, along with Fanny, and he's going a little bit better now. None wider than Fakir Doodery, which is very interesting.
It is
Mark
interesting.
Walsh
He
would have
looks
had the plan in his head, wouldn't he?
He looks happy there, though, doesn't he, Fakir Doodery?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 out next time they're going over. And Mr. Fisher's jumping really well. Kate, is he coming in on the exchange at all?
Not really, to be honest. Very little happening on the exchanges here. If anything, he's just slightly drifted out. If anything else, for all that he is jumping well and a lovely sit on the better ground himself.
I'll get rid of Barry for 1 week, Kate, and I'm hoping you're going to, coming to you, on the first circuit of a race. And again, you're channeling the great man. No, not really, Dave. Move on. Come to me in a bit. Come to me with 4 fences to run.
Nothing is happening. Honestly, I wish I could give you a nugget there, but nothing is happening on the exchange.
All right, okay. Well, I don't know. It's interesting. Look, we already know that waiting patiently is probably not the force of old now. He's already rowing away James Tudor out the back. Fanny and D'Estraval hasn't really been going, so I'm surprised that he hasn't spiked out. St Calvados is going well. Mr. Fisher, who you wanted to see getting a rhythm, has done. Lost in translation, starting to go
Just
back.
starting to go backwards now.
All right, okay, but 2 for gold is up as well. Could he just be overlooked? Could he be overlooked? He is a tough stayer, and the stayers are pressing on with it. They're going to try and expose the likes of Mr. Fisher. And I'll tell you what, Fakir Doodery's had a little bit low there, Batchelor.
Yeah, just a little bit low at that one, yeah.
Are these the trickiest fences out there? They always seem that
They
way.
are, because you're just running downhill from them, and it's sometimes, if your horse is jumping well, you can nick a bit of ground down here, so you're going down there. So like Bassi sees one, and so does Tudor.
Yeah. And on Dave, it's horrible. Like when you are going a bit downhill,
Yeah.
honestly, you'd rather be jumping uphill.
Hey, what's going
No,
on?
because it's horrible. It's
I
quite
can imagine.
unnerving.
You're
They've
just
got
praying
it.
to see a stride.
Look at David Batchelor. He comes alive, doesn't he, in races
Yeah.
like this?
Tufagol's running
Dave
absolutely
Batchelor's
brilliantly,
saying.
isn't he? But that £6 worse off than
Yeah.
Dasher Drasher.
Lost in translation,
Calvados is
not
travelling.
happy, waiting patiently,
He is.
not happy. The rest of them are in with a chance. I'm not totally convinced with how Will Fakir is going. Mr. Fisher, I keep...
Lost in
listen,
translation's not.
If the ground beats Mr. Fisher, fair enough today, but he's definitely back because he's jumping beautifully. Fanny and Destravel trying to get back into it. St. Calvados has not moved a muscle
Fakir's looking
so
great.
far.
Yeah.
Fakir's looking great.
What about, okay, Kate, let's come to you on the far side. Has something now happened on the exchange?
Yes, finally, Fakir Dudery is being strongly supported now into 2.22 there. St. Calvados is drifting back out again. He's just slightly coming under the cosh after settling well early on. You can just see that Harry Cobden's elbows are just starting to go there. 4.7 about Dasher Drashery's in a lovely rhythm.
Yeah.
And I'd say St. Calvados is getting bigger and bigger the whole while.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden Fakir Duderis is showing his class and he's coming back into it despite the fact he's fiddled them. This is where you want to be on Fakir, I think, isn't it? We've
Yeah,
done,
plenty of
4
room,
out?
yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Fisher, again, looks like
Don't
ground. James
discount
Bowen hasn't gone
Deutsche.
for him yet.
Don't discount the Deutsch.
No, he's having a row around, isn't he? But I don't know. At the moment, it's really hard to call this. 3 out, isn't it? Fakir Duderi at the moment looks surely like the one to be on. Dasher Drasher, unfortunately, just isn't up for the battle today. Look at Fanny and
Deutsche,
Destravel coming
come
back
on,
into
the
it.
Deutsch.
All of a sudden,
Come
Mark
on,
Walsh has got
Fanny.
something to think about.
Come
Very
on,
confident in a couple of
Fanny.
fences ago.
Fanny's coming, isn't
Look
he?
at
Fanny's
2 for
coming.
gold. He's a strong stayer, this. Bassi will be loving this,
Yeah.
knowing he's got the
He
favour
is
on his
very
quarters.
strong
Mr. Fisher just struggling to go to pace now. Fanny and Destravel looks beaten as well. Dasher Drasher, unfortunately, no repeat win for him. 2
on, Fakir.
to go, and 2 go clear.
Come on,
Oh,
Fakir.
look at this, Fakir. Oh,
Come on,
no, has he
Fakir.
gone? Oh, my goodness gracious me, he's gone extremely low. All right, this is game
Fakir
over
will
according
keep
to the
going.
exchange.
1.1.
Bassi will keep going. Third place looks like it's going to Fanny and Destravel. Oh, he's gone extremely low there, didn't he? Wow, because 2 for gold is a proper stayer. All of a sudden, Fakir is
on,
walking
Bassi.
up and down on the spot.
Go on,
Could this be
Bassi.
a double for Kim Bailey and Dave Bass? Does he know took out? They could bookend the show here. Let's have a look. On the inside, he's
Go on,
spinning his
Bassi.
lungs.
Come on,
Fanny and
though.
Destravel not totally
Go on,
done with
Fakir.
either. They're walking, coming to the
Go
last.
on, go on.
2 for gold on the inside.
Come on,
Fakir
Fakir.
Duderi's class shining through here. Bassi's trying everything he can. I'll tell you what, it's not totally
Come
over.
on, Fakir, he'll
yeah,
stay.
okay,
Come
there you
on,
go.
come
101.
on.
That's what you wanted to see. We're not going to see a gubbing. Kate Tracey absolutely loving life as well. The mystical Kate Tracey has got it right. A treble for her. Nat's
And Natalie
finished
Green,
strongly.
and Natalie Green,
Natalie
and Natalie
Green got it right as well.
Fanny and third.
Oh, girl
2
power towards the
favourites.
end of the show there.
Well done,
Listen,
Nat.
hey, they all
No.
count. Well done if you were on Fakir. The plan was there, wasn't it? Saw it a long way out. We crashed in the week. The crowd will be loving that at Ascot because, you know, he's probably the most popular horse running there today, isn't
Yeah.
he? I imagine for punters, you'd think. 9 to 4 favourite wins then. Kate Tracey.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say for girls to the 4 there for Natalie and I then with Fakir Dudery. That was hard work in the finish. It really was. Good ride by Mark Walsh, obviously coming over here for this lad. He was sticky early on at some of his obstacles. You wonder if he was just getting trapped in the ground there. Hit a high of 4 rather than the eventual second horse. Really brave run there from 2 for gold. We know how much he loves soft ground, but he was really tired towards the end there. He stays this trip very well, so you can see why they wrote him positively, but he probably has just come up against a classier horse. Stuck to the task well, but he was on fumes. He hit a low of 1.46 throughout that. And Fanny and Destravel, he had no right to be there in the finish,
Yeah.
did he? Where did he suddenly come from then? He hit a low 3.95 in running, but he's a fascinating character, Fanny and Destravel, but I'm happy that class came to the 4 in this grade 1.
Class came to the 4 towards the end of the show as well. Kate, thank you so much for this afternoon. Sterling work replacing Barry. You'll hopefully be back on the show soon. You'll hopefully be back in the studio. We'll get you back out on the road. Now the storms are over.
Exactly. I was going to say, I've quite enjoyed this, the comfort of my living room with my ethereal glow. But no, it's been really enjoyable, guys. So thank you so much to all of you for your company.
Go and open a
well
bottle now, Kate Tracey. Sterling work for Betfair today. Batch, it's been a long old stint for you. It's been a long old afternoon.
Been a long old
But
afternoon.
we've had fun as usual, haven't we?
Good fun. Fanny and Destravel step him up in trip and he'll be winning a graded race.
Interesting.
soon.
Are they going to go to Cheltenham now, do you think? Or did he have a hard race there? Fuck yeah.
I think they'll go to Cheltenham.
Have another
His
crack.
nails. Look, the thing with Fakir Duderi, he can make mistakes. He does. We know that. We can watch it. But if you just, ease him into it. He was in the perfect position. It was a brilliant ride by Mark Walsh. And then say, go. And he's got a bit of speed about him, a bit of turn of foot. And that's what he showed. And he rallied very, very well.
There you go then. What an afternoon it has been. In Grade 1 honours, unsurprisingly, they go to Ireland. Great to have you back, Nat. We're going to be seeing you a bit.
It was my
Quite a
pleasure.
lot of you actually next month, aren't we? So you've had your break.
I'm going to ramp up from 2 favourites winning to crazy double-figure prices.
You're back for the Ida next week, aren't you? So happy days. All right, listen, great stuff. Great to have you out there as well. Thanks to Will and Kieran in the studio. I've been Dave Orton. See you next week.